Caribbean Radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners, and of course, happy Diwali to all those out there. It's in the village to the DAG Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Let me bring in 1/3 of the DAG Triplets. You're no other than Diana, Waveney, Benskin, McDonald, boy. All four
You got it
names,
wrong.
boy.
You got it wrong. That ain't me. So I ain't answering.
Diana, McDonald, Benskin, boy.
Nope. Still get it wrong.
Diana, Waveney, McDonald, Benskin, boy.
Well, when you find them three people, introduce them to me now.
Okay. What kind of drink is that?
This is Hydrate Alkaline 9.5 water. I have to drink one a day.
Hydrate alcohol 9.5 water.
Alkaline.
Oh! I thought they said alcohol 9.5. Oh God! Tell me why you're inside. What tax?
Shub Diwali.
Yeah, Shub Diwali to everyone, boy. Shub Diwali, of course. Happy Diwali to every.
You may hear some bamboo bursting in the background because here in the village, I'm hearing boom, boom, boom every once in a while.
Bamboo bursting.
You hearing it? Are you?
No. It's not bamboo bursting, boy. Bamboo busting, boy.
Why are they contributing to the same thing that your prime minister going to fight up in Brussels? Climate change. That smoke and thing ain't no good for the climate. All it chill with that now.
That is low levels. It's low levels. Only for a minute. We cannot get vexed. It happen every second, every day.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
low
levels of bamboo busting.
Low levels of bamboo busting.
Wall Street, you look very presidential, or should I say prime ministerial today.
Boy, listen now, boy. I'm practicing ahead of time. Only I'm practicing.
Nobody don't like my black flower?
No, nobody see that black. So wait now. One time is a black pom-pom, a red pom-pom. Tonight is we couldn't see it. Nobody can see that.
Oh, you mean
it's not as visible as the red pom-pom.
Yeah. People think it's a muff.
All right, you know what I did? I gave you all some light.
No, we still can't see it.
I gave you some light.
No, look like a muff.
Look like a hairstyle.
Yeah, look like a hairstyle. Look like a muff. You remember?
But you could still see the darkness now with light.
No. We can't figure it out.
God, you ride the tide with me now. The darkness light overcoming. You can see the dark.
Yeah. All right.
God, you're slow. You're slow.
I'm slow. Phantom, welcome to inside.
You're right.
Good night. Phantom. Shub Diwali.
You can't mess with Diana and she knows she's tough,
That's right.
Yeah. Shub Diwali, boy. But tonight, Rose, boy, the other night, I didn't have a good night, right? And I'm not letting it happen tonight. Rose, you're inside, number one, boy. Rose, you beat back everybody. 6:05 p.m. Rose inside.
Takesha have a good night.
Yeah, Takesha so good, boy. Rose just nipped me, boy. Rose pipped me. Takesha come in 6:06 p.m. It is one thing, boy. Rose says she finished cooking. Rose, where you cooking, girl? And then we can come and get cook. Takesha, where you cooking? I hear Takesha could cook,
Wow.
I hear so, Takesha, somebody tell me he's a real cook. He's a cook stress, not just a cook, You have to put stress, seamstress, all you. Seamstress.
There's no such word as cookstress. She's a chef.
No, listen, what wrong with you? A cookstress is higher than a chef.
Really?
Not a seamstress. Right? A cookstress. So yes. Hey,
she cook roti.
Look, we boy breadstick. But still come inside. But Rose and Tikisha eating Watax.
Thank you, Lollipop. I'm not putting no deer on top of my flour fish stick.
Yeah, nuts cake inside, boy. I mean carrot cake inside, boy. You're inside.
Oh, we have a
Look
we have
my
a
partner. Look
good
my
night,
partner
Joe.
come. Who's that? Vonnie Roberts coming too, boy.
We have someone new in the village, Joan Jadubir. Forgive me if I pronounce your name incorrectly. Welcome to the village. And while you're here, click subscribe. It's free. So you'll get the notice whenever we're going live. Joan Jadubir. Jadubir.
Oh, Joan Jadubir. All right,
Yeah.
Joan.
Jadubir.
Everybody welcome
Joan
welcome to the village.
Yeah, welcome. So let me see how they come. Ooh, they're coming here fast and furious, boy.
Those is Bus Up Pumpkin, All Chana.
Ansha, Palori, Sahina, Parasad. Woo! What? Jamoon was Jamoon.
Listen to this, eh? Listen to Vonnie Roberts, eh? You see Vonnie, all of us are selective memory, you know. But it's all right. I don't mind. He's a good fella still. I don't care what fish sticks, Run DMC, Carrot Cake, Claudia, Nadia, Rajvi, Wolverine, cashew nuts. Is it cashew nuts or Wallafield nuts?
I don't know. Some kind of nuts.
Cashew nuts. I don't care. Yeah, what Vonnie Roberts say. And Vonnie, you know, I don't hide nothing. I hope all you can see, and some can only get UNC parliamentarians on this program. I'm waiting to see when Heinz, Farris, and Smorpin and others come on the program. I thought he had a PNM contentions. Well, Vonnie Roberts, Honey Roberts, let me say something to you, right? All we could do here in the village is invite people to come into the village.
Yep.
If you don't want to come into the village, we ain't begging you to come. But I guarantee you, listen to my words very carefully. Vonnie Roberts, go and get your tape. I want you to tape this. Let me see. Let me see. I see you going for your tape.
His 8-track.
Don't get that 8-track. No. Vonnie, don't get that 8-track. No, not that one. The other one. Yeah, no, not the DVD.
The 8-track.
No. You can't get the 8-track. No, your wife take it from me and put it back. No. Yeah, Vonnie Roberts, that one. Let me repeat for you, Vonnie Roberts. In the village with the DAG triplet, we invite all people to come in the village. Any kind of people. PNM, UNC, ILP, DLP, IDA, PLP,
COP, the whole alphabet.
We even invite the Pepto Bismol party. Right? Every party. You just invite to come in here. And all they have to do is accept. If they accept, they come. If they don't accept, we keep it moving. That is what Vonnie Roberts. I mean Honey Roberts. Yeah, I like that name, Honey Roberts.
Claudia Morales says she have one she red dress waiting for you.
Yeah? Hey, Rajvi inside, boy.
Lollipop have passad and I ain't getting none.
Lollipop. Yeah, no, we ain't see Sweetie yet, you know. We're looking for Sweetie. I don't know. Diana know what Sweetie?
No, yeah, if you know what Sweetie is, you from Trinidad, you don't think I know what Sweetie is?
All of them Barbados, all your Sweetie in Barbados.
Hello. I was raised in Trinidad from age 8 years to 18. I know what Sweetie is.
Well, let's call it in Barbados.
Sweetie.
All right, let's still rename them. All right.
No, certain things are remain up and down in different countries. You know what Paradise Plum is?
Of course, I know what Paradise Plum is.
Okay, well, if you know what Paradise Plum is, then you know
if you know it's a Sweetie, you must know it's a Paradise Plum.
Okay, I'm just.
You know what belly full is? You ever had a belly full?
But of course.
All that belly full about all that thought belly full was only in the urban areas.
Hello. We used to, my mother's husband had land up in Wallafield and Shagwana somewhere. So we have to go and pick coffee and cocoa and all that. Watch yourself. And I eat the cocoa bean right out of the cocoa pod. And I would wash my face with the the white thing from the cocoa, the meat of the cocoa. Watch yourself.
Wait. People used to eat that and you washing your face with it?
I eat the cocoa, the one that I open, you're not.
No, tell me, I feel I missed something. Hey, Claudia, good night to you, Claudia. I missed something, you know.
Yeah.
Diana Benskin, sorry, Diana Benskin in the program. My bad. Raj, hey, look my partner, boy, Albert Montano, boy. The Montano family out of Canada, live on direct. Albert, how you going, partner? We go too bad. Hey, Gary Mabia. Oh, Gary Mabia in the program too, sorry.
I think you need to take another shot, and I think you kind of drop.
You take your booster shot? Huh?
Hey, Rose, good night to you too.
You
Rose.
take your booster shot, you know, you eat something. What's wrong with you?
Hey, who's John?
No, oh my God.
Jaru Bear. John, where John joining us from? What part of Trinidad are you from?
The world.
So right now, Takisha, what Takisha asking me? Takisha, why nobody holding Beatum? What Tommy, you in Trinidad, the fig the
In Trumacat, all it is called chenet seed, sweetie.
You say that?
I take question again, Aslan.
Oh Lord.
Takisha want to know if I know the whole in the Beatum fix.
Guess what? That'd be a miracle if it was fixed so quickly.
I hear they fixed the hole, but sewage seeping coming up now. So
Claudia, I want to see that red dress, you know. I want to see the dress.
Aslan, Joan from Love Until.
Woo!
You feel? Nah, Joan. What part of Love Until you from?
By Angostura. You see? When I tell all you Angostura was there, all you telling me I ain't know.
That is only part of Love Until you know. Angostura is on the main road.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you.
That's on the EMR.
Yeah. Angostura is on the main road.
And there was the Coconut Growers Association. Where every time you pass there, they get the smell. I used to, and I was like, oh, that was such an aroma I look forward to when I was going to Port of Spain. Yeah. So tell me I don't know.
Inside, boy. Should be Diwali to you as well, mad dog.
Hey, Hailey, cut Watax.
Hailey come? Hey, Joan from Old St. Joseph Road? But let me ask a question, right? Think about this in Trinidad, right? Let us always talk about Old St. Joseph Road. Is there a new St. Joseph Road?
Oh, wow. I wouldn't know. I'm not from Laventille.
No, but if it's a old, must be a new?
No.
Okay, so explain that to me now. I know I'm kind of slow. Oh, you mean no?
I might be wrong. It have something to do with the capitals. I don't know. St. Joseph was the capital one time. Am I wrong? I don't know. I have to dig up in it.
But he come in real nice, what tax?
Albert, I feel for you. You're freezing up in Toronto, partner.
Don't feel for it. I freezing here up in Connecticut too. Frost out on the grass, the lawn outside, all up in 12 o'clock today.
Hey, Ulrich, how things going, partner? Good night, Ulrich. How things going? Joan from Success?
Old Joseph Road, Success Village.
Joan, I kinda worrying about what part of Success you from? I from Chumaka, Clavantil. What part of Success you from? Success Village. Passy Street right there. The rest of people not going to know what you're talking about, huh? Diana and Tommy and Gary and them.
No, I have no clue.
It have Old St. Joseph Road, and then there's the Eastern Main Road. Then there's the Success, the school, then there's the church. I used to go to that church all the time, boy.
Thank you, CG. CGA is still around? Okay. Thanks for letting me know.
It's CV, not CG. It's CV.
CV. Whatever. CV, thank you for letting me know CGA is still around.
Yeah, Ulrich, we glad to know you're hanging in there, my brother. Glad to know. All right, so Claudia say, oh boy, Claudia calling me words now. I like that, Claudia. When you call me, put an S next to the name, I feel good, Claudia, you see, you see, you see when Claudia put her S name in him, I added lower my voice a little bit.
Claudia, don't be careful. You don't put a B in front, okay?
You know, anytime you see Claudia and Nadia and Joan and them and Rose and who's the next one, buddy? And
Look,
Tisha
look. She's in the
and
corner after Mova Old Road. I don't know where Mova Old Road
no,
is.
but Joan, you living all the way up there. I know no Lavantil. You living in the middle class of Lavantil. If you are by the Mover Road,
Dorata
right?
Street.
Yeah. Oh, I know what that is, Joan. One full 100. But Joan is a real Joan, you know.
I don't know. No, I don't know nowhere in Laventil. If I go up in
I know
Laventil, I go get lost.
I know places in St. Augustine. I could tell you places in St. Augustine. I could tell you places in Tanapuna. But all you could tell people places is just St. Augustine. Tommy,
Tommy,
you know where Port of Spain is, right?
No, I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue.
Diana, what street is jail on? What street is jail on?
What street is jail on?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I give you a clue, Diana. F.
Frederick?
No, I'm talking about Golden Grove.
But they have a jail in town too.
I didn't tell you. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you about the road.
Okay. O'Meara Road?
Eh?
Oh Lord, O'Meara Road. What kind of answer is that?
I don't know. It's somewhere up in there. I don't have no calling to go to the jail, so I know where it is when I see it, but I never pay attention to the road.
Wait now. My dog saying, wait answer. I just asking the term Wall Street. Is that you on Wall Street analyst or is a legit street? My dog, what you
hear the noise outside?
Huh?
You hear the noise?
Yeah, that noise, boy. My dog, what you just drink? That bamboo they busting there, so?
Yeah, they're busting some kind of something out there. Right in my intersection.
Oh my God! Oh my!
Wait now. All right, I don't go back and
that sound like no bamboo to me.
Look like fireworks. Let me see what's going on.
Let me go back and read Claudia comment, boy. Claudia say walls, and I think it had another St. Joseph before. Then they changed it. It is not the road that old. It's St. Joseph that changed, I think. Is that true?
Some sort of thing like that.
Claudia, I really don't know truth, to be honest.
We have to research that. I don't have my other phone with me.
But wait now. Where Little Ron Horner?
He will come in soon.
Oh, anybody see Little Ron Horner?
He must go on to celebrate Diwali.
No. Oh, yeah, that is true, you know. Or he must go on in the corner.
There's only bamboo and fireworks.
Yeah. Albert Montana, you're right. Golden Grove is in Aruka. Diana, did you know that?
Yeah, I know that. Of course, but I don't know the street. I know it when I see it.
My dog, there's really a Wall Street in truth. Seriously, there's a Wall Street, right? And Wall Street is considered to be the financial capital of the world.
And let me give you a tidbit about Wall Street. That is where the first slaves were traded.
That's right.
Oh, full 100 Diana Benskin. Oh, Diana.
Yeah.
Wait now. When the program start, I just call you Diana, Waveney, Benskin McDonald.
Why are you giving out my name? So what does he want to know?
No problem. All right.
What does he want? What is it? Your FBI or?
Oh me, oh my.
Yeah. Oh, Albert says, I mean St. Joseph was the old capital. That's correct. Absolutely correct.
I think so, yeah. St. Joseph.
St. Joseph was the old capital. But Port of Spain became the capital and the Eastern Main Road was built.
And they taught all the mortar and the stones from Laventil to build up Port of Spain. Go and research it.
O'Meara Road is not the road to go to Price Mart.
Research it.
The road to Price Mart is Mausica Road, not O'Meara Road. Oh my God.
Okay. Well, hip hooray. But
wait now. Diana say what Diana say?
Did all the stones and the dirt that built up Port of Spain come from Laventille. Go and dig it up.
Where you get that from?
Go and dig it up and do your research.
But it wasn't taking no stone during my time then. It was only when I leave.
Stones and the mortar and wherever all the thing come from Laventille to build up Port of Spain.
Mortar too?
Wherever they take from Laventille, they build Port of Spain with it.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, but Claudia, I don't know what it is, Claudia. I feel you eat something tonight, Claudia.
What? Rowdy asked them for my name. I can give Dr. Rowley my name. I have no problem. I have Dr. Rowley in my contact list. I can send in my name to him.
What that, boy? You have him in your contact list?
Yeah, I could send my name to him.
Oh, I get a number. Claudia say, mad. Who's that? Mad? Who's mad?
My dog.
Thank you, Albert.
Oh, my dog. Oh, yeah, I like that name, boy. Claudia put an S next to his name, yes? He's just not my dog, no. He's a mad dog.
The cooktress is agreeing with me that Port of Spain was built up with stuff from Laventille, dirt and mortar and rocks and stones and stuff. Yeah. Do you know there's an observatory up in Laventille?
Were you asking answers?
I'm asking you, do you know there's an observatory up there?
But you're asking answers.
Okay, is there an observatory in Laventille?
You're still asking answers. Does a plane fly?
Including the president house, huh?
Hey, no. Claudia saying some nice things about me tonight. I ain't lying.
Oh, God.
Claudia saying Walls is the wolf of Wall Street.
Oh.
Claudia, you're saying some nice things.
You mean the Chihuahua? Smaller, make a whole lot of noise.
Lauren Ash. Lauren Ash.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Oh boy.
Let me know, boy.
Oh.
Who's Lauren Ash?
Ooh. Is this Jamari's family? Please acknowledge.
Wait now.
And I'll tell you why. Oh, tell me why?
Lauren Ash?
Tell you. Yeah.
I seen Sean Christopher Roach.
Yeah, he was here before.
Okay.
He was here before. Already say we had Laventille had 5 crushers.
Ooh.
Would I think that's crushed the stone on them?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Lauren Ash. Lauren Ash. Let me tell you.
You say yes, Miss Diana, you're correct, including President's House. President's House was in Laventille?
You're slow, I've said the material that was used to build up Port of Spain initially came from up in Laventille. Go and dig up your research and do it now.
All right, I gotta do it. All Vonnie Roberts. Look, Vonnie Roberts come again.
Why I ask if this Lauren Ash is a certain person? That's the name of one of my best friends who passed away a couple of years ago. So it just shook me a bit. So I know who the person is. They're using her contact phone. Yes, it shook me for a minute. Yeah, man. One of my horse that died. We used to run together.
Yeah, boy. Boy, they're not a horse, boy.
We used to run, partying, Perseverance Hall, and everywhere we went. Yeah, that was my horse.
In Chumakak, we could only afford donkey, but you can afford no horse.
My dog wants to know when Miss Anita is coming.
Who's that? Lana?
My dog wants to know when Miss Anita is coming in.
My dog, why you want to know that?
When she's scheduled to appear.
When she come. Wrong with you? Rest yourself, my dog. Let me go back to Honey Roberts. Honey Roberts says, answer, but it's shoot. When you get hands, etc., giving you a gold medal. All you see what Honey Roberts put up here, have it up on the screen. Honey Roberts, don't come like Ellis Island, Don't come like Ellis Island. I see all they like to run all the mouth. Oh, yeah, Wall Street, this and Wall Street, the other Wall Street can't do this and that. And as soon as I do it, don't forget, a gold medal.
Wait, let me say, is Jamari there? Hello, Jamari. Auntie Diana loves you. Good night, Jamari. Good night, Chelsea. All right, go ahead.
All right, let me get back to Honey Roberts. Honey Roberts, when he come, I want my gold medal. Look, all right, so fist, breadstick. I want you to, Albert Montana, I want you to, hey, all the screenshot this, eh? Nah, screenshotting that boy. Nah, Honey Roberts, I screenshotting it right now, eh? Watch, look.
Oh, my God.
Honestly,
Oh,
Honey Roberts.
Lord.
Oops, I screenshot that. Honey Roberts, you on Ellis Island, you see him coming yet? He ain't coming yet. You know, because your wife have him on the wraps.
Oh,
right?
Lord.
She never, she don't tie him yet. she never, whatever, she just, he go come in with a bang, what that? Right? Honey Roberts.
I run DMC and Little Ron Horner.
Yeah, Little Ron Horner too. You know what I mean? They had him in the corner where him on Ellis Island. Oh God.
So Gary, what'd you get for your Diwali meal? I mean, nobody ain't give me nothing.
Nah, I ain't get nothing, boy.
Nobody ain't give me nothing.
Oh, the crushers used to crush stone. Well, Ulrich, I think if it's a crusher, it's crushing something, you know. I don't think. Eh? Look at my dog.
Tell them send us some of their pictures. Send us them Diwali pictures on your phone there. WhatsApp. Let's go on Trinidad. Send us some WhatsApp pictures.
Not cake. That is not nice. You want to know who thief Anita neck?
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Don't start nuts cake. I'm gonna put you in. Let me get up from here and go and find a broom for you. Yeah? Behave yourself. I was in on another program. I'm monitoring them and they behave the same way.
So yeah, Claudia say, oh, love in the house. Lauren, I say love in the house.
Thank you.
Claudia says she watched Harder They Come, Harder They Fall last night.
Right.
I know the movie with Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah, Jimmy Cliff, yep.
Love in the house. Lauren Nash nice too, but yeah,
that's a nice. She was a nice person, yes.
Yeah, I gotta say good things about Lauren Nash, but
was a nice person.
Look, not cake, not carrot cake. Ilson carrot cake, the potong of Wall Street. Carrot cake. Carrot cake.
The pot hong.
Lord, yeah, the potong of Wall Street. Yeah. Yeah.
All who want to eat nice thing come down by Rose. Tommy, you're going down by Rose. You can make it before. You can make it before curfew.
She had to send me her address.
Yes, she will send it to you, man. Rose send Tommy her address. Tommy want to come down the road. Albert Montano says, 1959 to 1964, we walk up to Laventel Shrine every 13th of the month from May to October, up Picton Road, and we walk down Quarry Road to take the train. Correct is right. Correct is right, man. I used to take the train too, man. I used to walk down past the street, cross the main road, past the cemetery there. But listen to this now.
I never take no train.
But you see that in middle class people don't just take train. Only poor people used to take train.
Here we go again.
But did you train? Talk to some of them fellas and them never take a train. I had to take a real car. Tommy, remember real car, boy? 2 cars. And Smokey boy. You had Smokey boy.
I think I started living in Trinidad after the trains were stopped. 68, 69.
Oh, Rose living in Point 14, boy. New Village, Point 14.
Rose it's going to be a challenge to get to you. They had to fix them roads.
Hey, where Nadia? Nadia ain't coming yet? Where Nadia going? I know it's Diwali. You know. Oh, Jones say bring Anita, boy. Great woman, boy. I just told her the truth, yeah. Anita Haynes is a very humble young lady. I ain't gonna ask you no hard questions. I'm going to ask you some easy questions.
You won't like the hard answer if she give it to you.
Guy,
you're going to like the hard answer if you give it to her.
I'm going to go easy on you.
I have a tough question for Anselm.
Eh?
Claudia, I have a question for you. Anselm, let me ask you something. What is your view on the on this SOE in Trinidad? Honestly, what do you think?
But Claudia, do you Claudia, do you believe?
Give Claudia the number to call in. Give Claudia the number to call in.
Yeah. Claudia, 973-868-1444. 973-868-1444. I'll give you my honest.
How you know she have long distance? How you know she have long distance?
No, she have WhatsApp.
Oh yeah, she can WhatsApp you. That's true.
Yeah. Told me like that bamboo bursting in your ear too hard, you know.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Ellis Island is here. Ellis Island is in the house.
Ellis Island inside. Oh boy! Look.
Welcome to the village, Ellis.
What? Wait. Let me go to the videotape. Take off the belt, unbuckle it. Give my run out the room, yes? Ellis. Yo, Ellis bolt out the room, boy.
Somebody say Ron going to help Rowley with his briefcase.
Rose, you say try and see. Oh gosh. You say try and see where the big truck pull the helicopter and carry it. See if you can get a drop with it. Yes, Rose, I certainly will. For you, yes.
I don't think this person is a real person. CODM gamer.
No, who knows?
No, I don't. I feel that must be little Ron son or your cousin. You know?
Code man gamer.
Yeah. What is that?
Hey, my dog know him.
Look, Ellis just come. He just get let out of the belt, and he already Anita is a beautiful woman. He just get let out, you know. You could see her. You could see I was talking the truth.
You're welcome, Rose.
I want to show you something, eh? You see, let me go
seen that Prasad Ramnath. First time I seen that person. Welcome, Prasad. Ramnath. Yeah.
I think he was here before.
Okay.
Yeah. Prasad was here before. Prasad was here before. Yeah. Prasad. Yeah, you see, watch. Little Ellis Island just come in. Right? All of these just took Diwali, right? Let me say, Happy Diwali right back at you, Sticks. Only Sticks. It's only Sticks Happy Diwali to you. You see? All right. Look, let me go solo here for a minute. I want to show you something, Ellis, is that right, Ellis? Don't compliment me on the suit, okay? I already had enough compliments already. I don't need any more. Thank you all very much. Thank you also very kindly for complimenting me.
He borrowed it from Rowley.
On my presidential look, you know. My suits come from the same company that Dr. Rowley buys his suits from. Mine is mailed to me. You know, I mail the guys all my measurement and they send me back my suits. So don't worry about it. So, all right, So, Diana Benskin, Tommy, and Gary, all you hear what certain people were saying about when me and Motley talk, the place was packed to capacity. That's what it said. And when the Prime Minister speak, it only had 6 people. And that was the 6 people who only contingent. It was Stuart Young, Amy Brown, his wife, and 3 other people. 6 of them, 6 of them. All of that, right?
Oh, Lord.
All of that. All right? But you see, sometimes the facts have a way, right? Let me leave solo now, and go back. The facts have a way, boy. Facts. Let me show you something.
I pasted the number, Claudia.
Yeah, 973-868-1444. And there's other numbers there you can call to as well. I mean, you know, when we hear, we don't I mean, you know, we like to engage all in the chat, but if all they want to call, you know, we don't mind. All they watch, Watch. Look, Watch this one, All you see? All you see it, Let me move them, let me move Joan from on the screen there. Joan, you're up on the screen. Let me move, you know. Let me move Joan from on the screen, boy. Hold on, wait, Joan. Oh, God, Joan, you're going far back, girl. Far back. All right. So all they watch it now, honestly, the very large crowd gathered to hear. Well, it's Dr. Keith Rowley in Scotland. Honestly, nobody in the place. Nobody. Look at 6 people up front. Let's see them. All right. All right. 1, 2, 3. No, them fellas on the screen is the same people. And that's Dr. Rowley on the bottom screen. But let's 6 in front. All right, I could see 6 in front. 6. All right, 6. All right, or let's take 6. Take 6. But you know, win the West Indies game, boy. I see Sri Lanka scored 190, boy. And I don't know, I was looking at the score, but that was a good school, boy. All right, let's see it, let's see it. Diana, let's see it.
No, I can't see it.
Gary, you seen it?
There's a few people there. I can't see how much it is.
No, it's 6. Take 6. Let me just say 6, Gary.
All right, so go ahead.
All right. So that is Gary.
Now let's see.
Watch me and Motley now. Watch me and Motley. Let's see she up in the picture, right? Let's see she. Diana, you're Prime Minister. Let's see she. What's the difference there, boy? I can't see too well. I don't have on my glasses.
Social distancing. Hey, leave my Prime Minister out of this. Okay?
No. Look at the picture I sent you. Look at the picture I sent you.
The one where they change?
There's 2 comparisons.
Or the real one?
Look at the picture.
Gary, what is that? How is that, guy? So this picture is a fake picture then?
We don't know. Maybe she was talking. Maybe she started talking early and people didn't get there yet. Leave my Prime Minister out of it.
Diana,
leave me a Motley out of that.
But Diana,
look at the picture I just sent you. Look at the picture.
Only leave my Prime Minister alone. Good.
Oh Lord.
She start talking early and people didn't get there yet.
Oh we.
But Gary, let me get shot too sooner when the Prime Minister was speaking to her. Let me get shot like that. I compare here, you know. I compare oranges and oranges.
Put up the picture I just sent you.
I seen it. I'm looking at it. But the same picture up front is why I put up 2, Gary. No different. And I put up the one with me and Motley up front.
Look, Joan say leave she alone too. Thank you, Joan. Let me tell you in Bajan. Left me a Motley out of one bacchanal. Left me a Motley out of one bacchanal. Left the Prime Minister alone.
Nobody. It's not bacchanal. It's just.
If when I want to do that to Dr. Keith Rowley, go ahead. But left me a Motley alone. Good.
No, I just asking, you know. I just asking. All I'm doing.
Don't interfere with my Mia Motley. Left she out of all the bacchanal. Only go really see the storm. Only go really see the storm get vexed now.
You want me? CV want to know what's the moral of my story. What's the moral? CV, I will start to call you sleepy, you know. I mean, what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is this. You could spin anything the way you want to spin it.
That's right.
You could. All right. I will put up Gary picture where you just sent me to. Let me get it. Since Gary.
Wait. Go ahead. Avila Fishstick said Mia Motley didn't didn't talk after Ansem. She opened the summit, so which means she didn't start to talk as yet. She was just up there waiting. Thank you.
But I'm not saying Mia Motley speak before anybody, you know.
She was waiting.
I never say she speak before 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that match the picture and how much difference do you see?
Well, maybe he was up there waiting too, Dr. Rowley.
So Diana, you agreeing with them that there was only 6 people in the audience when he was speaking?
He wasn't speaking. He was probably up there testing the mic or what. I wasn't there. I don't know.
So Tommy, I know Gary see something different. I will pop Gary picture.
I don't know.
I'm sure you know Gary see. Tommy, that picture you pop there, doesn't it look like the same auditorium that both of them were speaking in?
And the audience looks like the same.
It does. Let me put biasness aside. Doesn't it look similar at least?
Yeah, it looks similar. It look doctored too.
And the picture up in the back screen is not shows that it's the Prime Minister of Barbados as well as the Prime Minister. I mean, you know, if we want to spin things, it's okay. We could spin things. And Sleepy want to know what's the moral of my story. There's no moral, Sleepy. Sleepy, what it is that. Oh, let me tell you something now. Oh, Gary, I had to pop your picture. Let me pop Gary picture before I forget. Because before Gary might cost me tonight. No, you're good. I'm gonna get Gary picture to put it up. Gary, you there?
Yeah, listen, go ahead.
I'm gonna pop your picture for you. I'm gonna put it up. But while I'm putting it up, I have a question. Gary, I don't know if you remember that. Hey, look, Claudia come again.
Oh God.
Claudia says walls.
Nobody was there.
Claudia, that's a good one. Nobody lives there. Claudia, you're on a road tonight, girl. Claudia, on a what, boy? Hey, you know, Claudia, I feel. Hey, Dana, what do you think? Oh, Albert Montano said I make up that picture.
Leave my Mia Motley out of all your bacchanal. Good.
Yeah, wait now. Oh, Diana, this is the one you say. Fistick said Motley didn't talk after answer. She openly summoned. So
she was waiting.
She was just up there waiting.
Yeah, hear what Rohan Prasad says. He says all the other leaders went to the toilet when Rowley started to speak.
No good.
Yeah, I ain't touching that one.
No good.
I ain't touching that one. All right, let me get Gary picture the pot because I don't want Gary to get mad at me. Gary said he was going to bring something for Diwali for we didn't see it yet. I don't know.
You gotta get it virtual.
No, yeah, we had to get virtual. I thought he was going to send it by Uber. You know?
No.
I would have paid for
the FedEx or virtual.
I would have paid for the transportation. I would have sent a Uber.
I wonder Mia Motley have any Trinbagonian ties. I would encourage her to take up her Trinbagonian citizenship.
I think you're pushing the envelope too far now.
Yeah, you're pushing it too far. I agree with you.
Why not? Why not?
She can remain Bajan and still run Trinidad and run it better than many.
Take up her Trin.
We have some women in Trinidad to put me and Motley in the back seat, you know. So watch out.
Hey, watch it. Hey.
Gary. She's not one to be toyed with.
Hey, watch it. Not Mia Amor Motley. No.
Don't forget, we have people like Anita Haynes and Khadija.
Well, you know, with all due respect, and you know, I giving them women the respect, they can't walk along. They can't battle like Mia Motley. Trust me when I tell you that. No, they cannot, Gary. They can't.
She makes me want to claim my Bajan roots.
You can't tangle with Mia Motley. They're young and they're inexperienced.
Well, there's Gary picture. Oh, let's see it. Right now, that is the back of the room and that is the front of the room. You see the same picture I put in front? It's the same picture I put up. The other picture on the top is the back of the room. Let me get the back of the room for the other one.
So who cares? What?
No, but let me compare apples with apples, not apples with oranges. Apples with plums.
All I know is the speech she gave was resounding, and she had Boris' attention. Boris folded his arm, so you know he that folded arm thing is like not an embracing body language. So I know he looking like a small pin, right? And then the rest of them there, the Bajan woman get up there and tell them like it is. Yeah, China not there. Where's China? The one that emitting most of the CFCs that is responsible for global warming. Yeah, she asked the uncomfortable questions. Yeah, she sure did. Yeah, that's.
So what? China wasn't invited to the summit?
I don't know if they was invited. She asked where were they and where was Russia.
No,
and
somebody,
you don't think that she's right?
I don't know if they were invited. She just asked
I'm
where
sure
are
they. I'm sure they were invited, but you know, they just.
I don't think the Chinese want to face me. She don't want to face the rest of the leaders.
And them is the ones that doing the most, emitting the most thing that causing the ozone layer to burn and the global warming matter. Yeah, where were they? Me and Motley asked, where were they?
No, that was a good question. Who's Claude Hild Thomas? That person you know.
Yeah, that person is me.
Yeah, you always say welcome to. Is that Miss Thomas?
It's called Clotilde Thomas.
Oh, Clotilde. My bad. I apologize. You know,
I had an aunt with a middle name Clotilda.
Okay, my Chumaka accent get in the way sometimes, so I apologize.
Mia Motley was wearing a white and blue top. And
yeah.
What is that significant of Clotilde?
I don't know.
Enlighten me.
But you know, here again, you know, wallpaper really said nothing but kiss behinds.
Ooh.
Wallpaper is a new one?
Ooh. Yes, I saw the interview with Miss Amanpour. Yeah. Did they interview?
We have that. Hey, look who just come in there.
Oh.
Look who just let him go away. Look, wait. Let me go back to the videotape. Let me rerun that video. Somebody just come in there chat. Hold on, all you.
They let him out for his weekend pass.
Yeah, no, wait. Let me see. The door going and open. Oh no, she pull him back inside. All right. No, she have it around his neck. She taking it off. Okay. All right. Oh, you running outside now, boy. All right, you open up your laptop. Hey, it's little Ron Horner on you. Oh, God. Partner, little Ron Horner, you inside, boy. Oh, let's see, not call him Ronald. Ronald, you're inside. Ronald, you are inside.
Oh God! Look, the angry emojis coming up. They're coming up. You're egging him on, you know.
Who's that?
Ron Horner, little Ronnie, little Ronald.
Ronald.
Ronald, the brakes on the truck. Well, the truck wasn't working.
Listen, Rose, I agree, you know. Rose, you all don't say anything bad about anyone tonight. It's Diwali, a sacred holy day for the Hindu community.
Thank you.
You don't know if really have on a dhoti and kurta right now and doing some meditation. Correct is right?
Yep, that's right.
I fully agree. 100%.
That's right.
I agree with that.
And especially Mia Motley, leave she alone. Or they'll get me vexed.
So while we're doing this, let us say this here from WZYE 95.9 FM. You know, Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali. Hope Diwali brings you every joy and blessing. Happy Diwali. And let's also get this here.
Were you able to get the video up?
The ones that you sent me? No, I couldn't get it. No, I tried all. Yeah, I couldn't get it at all.
See why,
Happy Diwali.
Shuk Diwali.
Shuk Diwali.
Shuk Diwali.
Yeah, Shuk Diwali. So we have Miss Anita Haynes, the MP for Tabakit, coming up. You know, Tommy, Gary, and Dana. I don't know if you know this fella. Is a fella by the name of Tabakit. He's a prominent UNC fella.
Yeah, Mr. Tabakit.
Mr. Tabakit. You know, Mr. Tabakit was in the house 2 nights in a row. And I don't know if he got an email from
Gary.
From Gary. You know.
I don't even know who he is. First time I hear about it.
No, he's already.
Ron is
He's an institution in this land.
Yeah, he's an
Ron,
Oh
institution.
yeah.
Ron is asking Mother Lashmi, please forgive
What is he
me.
fighting for or supporting?
But
He's a political activist for the UNC.
UNC, he fighting for the
Oh, yeah?
UNC. Yeah, hard, real hard. So listen to little Ron Horner. He says, alignment and drinking, I forget it's Diwali because I'm drinking. Run. Little Ron Horner.
And asking Mother Lashmi to forgive him.
Yeah. No eating shattering.
Oh, Lord.
Cotton pills.
Oh, Lord.
You're not
Oh, my
skipping
God.
shattering. But you know what I like about little Ron Horner? Seriously, he's very consistent in his behavior. Him and Ellis Island, the two of them very consistent. That's what I like about, I like to deal with consistency. You understand? And all I ask is some consistency. Takesha said Ellis trained them.
Somebody come. Somebody come to
them.
Marco. Who come to Marco? Who come to Marco Rajvi? Oh Lord, that language, boy.
Oh, maybe Tabakit, Mr. Tabakit. You come to Marco. You see, they let out Ellis Island. You want to see beautiful Anita. They let him out, You see how they let him out? Takesha, something going on with Ellis and Ron. I don't understand what that is, Carl Prasad was here before, right?
I'm not sure.
I ain't sure either. All the Carl Prasad was here before?
If he's not welcome to the village.
Yeah, I ain't see Carice, I'm the Carice. And Lana.
She said she'll come later. Yeah, I ain't see Lana in a while. And Mark Daniel.
Yeah, I see Mark Daniel too. And Wallafeel not. Yeah, Claude, you see the interview with Miss Aman Poe with But listen, I have to admit, boy, that when you listen to me and Motley, right? If that woman tell you that they want mandatory vaccination, you could say, all right. You understand? Yeah. We agree with you. We agree with this me and Motley because she just has a way about her when she dealing with her people. So guys, stick and stay. We're gonna go for a quick station identification. Of course, it's in the village with the DAG Triplets.
This is Prasad's first time. Welcome, Mr. Prasad.
Okay, all right. It's in the village with the DAG Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Of course, folks, it's in the village with the DAG Triplets and WZYE. Stick and stay, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back with you.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's in the village with the DAG Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Folks, we just missed a call, so I'm going to return that call to that person. It's in the village with the DAG Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday.
Hello, good night.
Hello, Rose. You are on WZYE 95.9 FM. Welcome to In the Village with the DAG Triplets.
Okay, Shab Diwali to everyone.
Yes.
And I'd just like to sing 2 lines for you.
Sure.
Om Jai Lakshmi Mata, Hari Om Jai Lakshmi Mata. Right, as you 2 lines.
Rose, it's always a pleasure. We appreciate you all the time. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you.
And I want to say that you all should have been here eating and drinking.
Yeah. That's all right, man.
We need enough time so that we can prepare, okay?
Yeah, but we could eat virtually too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so have a good night.
All right.
I just wanted to say it with my own voice. Happy Diwali.
All right, same to you. Bye-bye.
Right.
Same to
Thank
you.
all for all the compliments.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
of course, that's no other than, one of our favorites here, Rose. Let's go to our guest. Our guest is already in the village with the DAG Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. Let's bring in no other than the fantabulously beautiful Miss Anita Haynes. Welcome to In the Village to the DAG Triplets. Of course, you should know the DAG Triplets. D is Diana, and Diana is considered to be the storm. I am Anselm of Wall Street. Gary Mahabir is the phantom, and we have with us another individual by the name of Tommy. He's considered to be the love child by the ladies in the chat. Miss Anita Haynes, welcome back to In the Village with the DAG Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM.
Thank you so much for having me. Good night, everyone, and Shub Diwali to everyone.
Good night.
Same to you.
And Miss Haynes, I promise everyone that I will not give you any difficult question on this holiday season that we are here today. So, Gary, are you there, Gary?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, and she will give you the difficult answer. So you go ahead.
No, I'm not afraid of any questions. So anything that you feel you need to ask, you feel free. I'll be very happy to answer.
I appreciate that, Miss Haynes, because I have to be honest with you, right? I mean, you know that I am a PNM supporter, right? But when I look at you, I appreciate, huh?
For now.
And I am a non-supporter. Nobody.
But Miss Haynes, when I look at you, right, and I see you present in the parliament and even outside of the parliament, I mean, I actually give you full respect. I'm not blowing smoke or blowing wind or anything. I give you full respect because, you carry yourself in a very respectful way. And even your debate is very respectful as well. And I appreciate that. And I think that, we need to have more people on both sides of the spectrum that, have that type of aura in that it will make the society a better society.
Well, thank you very much. And I agree that I always take that into consideration before I speak in any forum. I am aware that by the value of my position, I am an example and people are looking on. And you have to kind of think about what is the type of Trinidad and Tobago you want to see. And then you reflect that in whatever you're doing. And so I always think about that before anything that I do, because I'm aware. And maybe it is because I am the eldest of three girls. And my dad always told me to make sure I set a good example because people are looking on. And so I've always, that comes very easily to me to try to always think about what kind of example you're setting. So it's it's just part of my nature.
And Ms. Haynes, there's also an acronym for what you just said. It's called SAGE, SAGE.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Set a Good Example.
Okay.
So you might, right? So you have actually implemented that, and I use that acronym quite often,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people need to SAGE. That's what I said.
Yes,
Because when you are in certain position, right? Whether you are pro or against, you still have to set a good example. And I'll give you an example, right? So if somebody comes into the village here, we have different people, right? I don't look at a person and disrespect a person because they may have a different view, because we all have different opinions, but I think if we respect people's opinions and views, Trinidad and Tobago can be a better place at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think and what I always try to tell people is, for me, if I get the sense that while I'm speaking with you, that your end goal is national development, and you know that my end goal is national development, what vehicles we take to get to that point is irrelevant if we're both going in the same direction. Where we may get into some source of contention is if you get the sense that it's not national development that you're working towards, and then you have a more difficult space. But if you're trying to get to the same end goal, but you're using a different space to get there, then, I mean, by all means, we can agree to disagree.
Now, someone asked a question, Miss Anita. What I guess what is your opinion on the crime rate in this country, especially in an SOE?
I think Trinidad and Tobago, for a small country, has been grappling with a crime situation that has impacted all of us in such a way that earlier this year, in the midst of a pandemic, you had citizens moved to go out into the streets to mourn the loss of some of our young sisters. And that was this year. I mean, so much has happened in this year that it may seem further away, but as we are in a state of emergency and we've been in a pandemic, what we're looking on is this kind of senseless loss of life. And you citizens not feeling safe, and citizens have not felt safe quite some time. And the number one job of any government has to be to secure the state, to secure the lives of your citizens. Because if you don't do that correctly, then everything else you're doing amounts to nothing. Because there just won't be anybody coming out to talk about economics or education or anything, because you're afraid for your life. And so the crime situation is, especially as you rightfully said, in the context of a state of emergency, where we're still seeing these high numbers, where we're still seeing, the news is it's killing spree on the weekend, and then number of COVID deaths, and so it is the society is burdened with very sad news and very sad loss of life, and I think it is absolutely concerning, and it is definitely concerning in the context of there being no substantive commissioner of police at this time. Not that you expect any one person to solve the issue, but the police service is a hierarchical, structured organization, and you do need somebody at the top.
No, Ms. Haynes, we see in the media reports that there is some who say there's a spike in murders in Trinidad and Tobago. And then you hear the TTPS saying that there is no spike in murders in Trinidad and Tobago. And then you hear Gary Griffith coming out and saying there's a spike in crime. I don't understand why a former commissioner of police will want to put a black eye on an institution where he was the commissioner of police by coming out to say that, yeah, there's a spike in crime because I'm no longer commissioner of police. And the TPS is coming out and saying, no, there's no spike in crime. So who does the citizen of Trinidad believe? Trinidad and Tobago. Who do they believe?
Right? I am a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. And to me, whether you acknowledge or admit or anything like that, whether you want to say if it's a spike in crime or not, is irrelevant to me as a citizen. Because what I am saying is, if we can see, the news reports are telling us 5 persons murdered, 4 persons murdered at any point in time, and it makes no difference to me as a citizen. My concern, what I want to hear, is what is being done about it. I don't want an argument about whether or not there's a spike or not. That is irrelevant to every citizen. The question that those in charge ought to be answering is what is going to be done about it. And it's beyond just saying who is responsible or whatnot. It becomes our police service, the TTPS, well-resourced and well-equipped to deal with the task at hand. And we raised this on several instances during the budget and the Standing Finance Committee. And the question was whether or not you are spending money in the right places that will yield the right results. Because to me, priorities must be set, and decisions must be made based on data. And so if your data is telling you that police need X, Y, and Z to perform the task, and you do that. But we've not seen that, and therefore we've not seen the results that we were hoping for. And that is a cross-sector problem, because as a shadow for education, I've seen that issue it is a very resounding issue in the education sector, where you're hearing about millions of dollars being spent, but you're not seeing the results, and it is because they are not using the data to drive the policy, and therefore you're spending top and mud.
No, no, Anita, I hear you, and I agree with you, but I more like to deal with facts rather than deal with throwing spaghetti on the wall and see what will stick. Because sometimes in Trinidad, we have this philosophy, we throw spaghetti on the wall and we see what will stick. Now, these are facts, right? All facts. In 2018 and 2019, we had the second and third highest murder rate in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And then people are going to tell you, well, you know, it's because the borders was porous and the borders was open and anybody could come in whenever they want and so on and so forth. But nobody can say out of those 516 and 538 murders, how much of those Venezuelans who you want to blame coming in the borders when it was open, how much of them commit that murders, right? And going to 2020, we look at 396 murders during a pandemic when the borders were closed. And you want to give credit for 2020, but you want to look at 2018 and 2019 as well as the borders and so on and so forth. What do you say?
Listen, Trinidad and Tobago has to recognize, and this is the danger of making certain things without putting things in context, right? 2018, record year. 2019, a record year in terms of the murder rate. And rather than discuss the systems that created the environment for those record years, we end up in a discussion of personalities. And therefore, to me, as a person who is involved in policy discussion and who is speaking to an electorate to one day be in the space of policy making, I think it is very dangerous. And I will always maintain this because I don't believe in being a hypocrite at all, that you cannot house a discussion like crime or any of our major policy decisions in personalities. It has to be a question of whether or not we are aware what the problem is and that we are discussing solutions to the problem. So let's take crime, right? You're saying that that there was an excuse about the borders prior to that. The fact is, as you rightfully said, if we're dealing with facts, our porous borders are a problem. They are a problem that predated 2018, and they were a problem that existed in the pandemic, during the pandemic, because while official borders were closed, the borders that we're talking about that were porous were never the official borders. They were always unofficial. And so therefore they were never closed. And so again, as you acknowledged in the very beginning, I approached the conversations, like you, as you rightfully said, respectfully, but also from a space of seeking solutions for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Because if we're not doing that, we're not doing anything. And so, yes, our porous borders are a problem, but it's also a question of opportunities within the country. Because as you see, right, and as we're discussing 2020, but 2021, you're seeing an uptick in the murders. And the reason for that, if we were to do some sort of detailed analysis, I am sure would point to the fact that our gap between those who have and those who don't is increasingly growing. And that is as a result of our economic situation, of joblessness, of hopelessness that we are facing as a country. And that would be just one of the reasons that we need to look at. And so crime is a extremely dynamic, extremely wide space for discussion. But in order for us to do so in a sensible fashion, we have to look at all of the possible inputs. And then we have to be very dedicated as citizens and as policymakers in terms of moving towards a solution.
And the same, you see, what I said about you earlier wasn't blowing
That's all the hard question you have? Keep coming.
No, but Gary, Gary, what I said about Miss Haynes in the early, right, was if I was blowing smoke, right, Miss Haynes answered the questions, and the answers you give make a lot of sense. So if it makes sense, what do you want me to do? You want me to try to make it not make sense? No, that's not the way it's supposed to be. If you give an answer that makes sense, right, you move on because you are making sense. At the end of the day, she put into the puzzle, right, when we talk about the status of people in Trinidad and Tobago with respect to crime. That's very important. But we never hear that, you know. We don't hear that. All we hear in lately now, because Gary Griffith no longer there, and when Gary Griffith no longer there, crime going on. It's because of Gary Griffith. But and that sort of myopic thinking, right? We have to stop that. We have to look at all the factors that can help in the reduction of crime. It's not one thing. And the saying, you are so right. So if you are telling me something that's right, me as a PNM supporter, not going to say to you because you are ULC, no, the sayings, that's right. And I go, no, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Right? So that's why I said I really
it's a
appreciate.
combination of things, Ansem. It is a combination
But that's what
of things. It has to do with the management of the police force. It has to do with the management
but Gary, you talk with Gary Griffith. Using number one defender, Gary Griffith, Gary.
Exactly. And I know what I'm talking about. And it has to do with the management of our border fence line. All of these things play. And also you deal from Anita's end, since she's working on education, you work with the education aspect of things. And then you would have the Minister of Social Development work on the social aspect of things. And we combine. It has to be a pillar. It can't be a
Golly. All of a sudden, the Saints, come on, boy, you're opening up, boy. You're opening up, Gary, boy. Go ahead. We got to bring the Saints on a little more often, you know. Because Gary opening up to other things now, boy. But when the Saints wasn't here, Gary, everything was, honestly, the Gary Griffith gone. Honestly, what with crime spiking now. Crime rampant all about the place. And all of a sudden, the Saints come in, Gary, and you're seeing light at the end of the tunnel.
No. I still stand my ground, but I always say there's a combination of things.
Can I chime in?
Sure.
You know, I'm listening to the discussion about. Mrs. This is Tommy.
Oh, good night.
Good evening. I'm listening to the discussion about the crime, and something comes to mind that Yasin Abu Bakr, who we had on the show before, talked to us about what has happened in Trinidad concerning the uptick in crime as you described it. That it didn't just start 5 years ago or 10 years ago. It's been going on for a while and getting worse because we have people in high positions that are involved in the underworld and in the crime. We have even people in law enforcement who are errant. And there's no way, as a matter of fact, I said it at the last show, there's no way that those who are making the problem can be depended upon to resolve the problem. And that's why we seem to have serious problems in Trinidad that we're going to be talking about for a long time to come. That is not going to be resolved because the same people who are making the problems and are part of the problems are trying and pretending to be part of the solution. What do you say about that? What say you?
Well, I have, as a younger person getting involved in politics, always heard about that. I've always been told that the system will not change, right? That's a recurring theme. Whether you're talking about crime, whether you're talking about politics, all these things, we're told the system will not change. And I've taken a different approach. Systems are made of people. All systems are made of people. And so what's the solution if you want the system to change? The people who want the system to change have to get involved. And we've always been told, well, it is always a kind of agitate from the outside. But what happens when you do that? The people who like the status quo remain on the inside. So my answer to your question and the thinking that we should look forward to the solution is how do we encourage the people who have the best interest of the nation to get involved? And it is for the people who may to amplify the voices of persons who are thinking along those lines, and also not for us not to lose hope, because like I said, I've always been told, why are you getting involved in politics? All of them want to do the same wrong things, and we say, listen, but it's a system, and the system is made of people. So if you want a better system, you find the people that you want in the system, and you get them involved, and you create the spaces. And so it's the same thing with crime. It's the same thing with the solutions to crime. If you're saying that the persons at the highest level are if the persons at the highest level are the ones creating the problem, then you have to then enforce and create a space where persons who want the best for the country have a way to get to the top levels and the top brass, and then you create the system that you want and the country that you want.
You know, Anita, I always see the blame everybody, the 1%, the 1%, the 1%. But what happened to the 99%? We are the majority. So what we need. I mean, I have seen you pretty engaged in your community and and your constituency. And what we need is leaders to engage the people, to bring them on board with this fight and let them know how they can play, what role they can play, how they can play in making a difference. Because you got 99% of the people is being defeated by 1% of the population. I mean, and how does that continue happening?
I mean, by and large, I think we've always attempted to implement a top-down approach where you start at the top and you hope it works its way down to all of society. How I engage my space and the platform that I ran on, and the politics that I believe in, genuinely believe in, is that in order to build the country that you want to see, you have to build it community by community. And so if you cannot start to build a country at the country level, you start by the communities. And so I invest in my communities. My constituency is the second largest in the country, and I do small community meetings, cottage meetings. I go in every area that is possible. And mind you, in the midst of a pandemic, so you have to be mindful of the numbers and the distancing and whatnot. But I firmly believe that in order to see progress, you have to build your community. So citizen by citizen, it's hard work. Building a country is not easy work. It's not overnight. Building the kind of country you want to see, ensuring that people have trust in our systems, ensuring that people have faith that in all of our systems, it takes hard work, and therefore those of us who are in those positions have to do that work, and you can only do it community by community, because that's just the way I believe. That is my personal philosophy in how you build the kind of country that you want to see. So the 1%, 99%, I really don't think about things like that. That's just not how I think about things. Because I see my community, I see potential in my community, I see potential in communities across Trinidad and Tobago, and I don't think we all need to be the same, but I think we all need to be working towards the same space. And so we bring our talents, we bring our potential. I mean, I'm from an area that has a lot of agriculture, a lot of natural talent in terms of sport, music, culture, the art, into academic talent, and so we have it all. And so how do you encourage the potential of your community? And then going back to what we said in the beginning, you set a good example, and not just those who you feel ought to be setting a good example, everybody in their individual spaces. If you set a good example, then we have a nation of good examples.
I always like to use the example that when you're building a house, you start from the ground up. You build the foundation. Your house is as strong as that foundation. So it comes in the same philosophy that you're saying. You have to start, and Obama preached it here in this country, to work from the ground up. He always went to the ground when he had problems in Congress.
But Gary, if the house is already built and the foundation is in place, you may have to tear it down and redo the foundation. No,
you do have to do, and you're right, and that's why I always say, you identify the problem. When I speak in Parliament, I start my debate prep by identifying the problem that we're trying to solve. Because you find people talking around issues all the time. But if you identify the problems that you're trying to solve, then you get more targeted solutions. So if you're saying, yes, there are issues with the foundation, you don't have to mash up the whole thing, right? But you can acknowledge that there's a problem and work systematically towards the solution. And if the solutions is that you have people who do not have the best interest of the country in leadership spaces, then you understand how you get people into leadership spaces, and you start to fix that problem. And if that problem is community engagement, activism, understand mentorship, letting people understand that there is a space for you at the decision making table, do that work and you will get those results. But you will get no results if we all sit on the sidelines and say, that's just the way it is. That's the way it is. That's the way it's always been. I guarantee you, nothing will change if we did that.
Miss Haynes.
Diana saying something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go, Diana.
Yeah. Yes, Miss Haynes. This is Diana Benskin. How are you doing, madam?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Time and time again, I have sat in and I listened to everyone, and corruption seems to be a formidable, it has a seat at the table. Let's go down your road. How do you, and it's in the system, right? How do you're doing all this groundwork, you're trying to change the mindset of the people. How do you launch a formidable opposition to get rid of corruption and take Trinidad and Tobago forward?
When we discuss corruption as a nation, right? We think about the big things, the multi-million-dollar contracts, etc. And obviously, I'm not saying that's wrong. But that's where we're focused on. But if you live in Trinidad and Tobago, you know that we run a very who you know culture. Who you know to get ahead of the line for the simplest things. If it is your license, if your passport, simple things, right? To get your child into a school you want, it's simple things, right? And so everybody has this who you know culture, and then we get upset, and rightfully so, only when it reaches the highest level. Who you know to give you the multi-million-dollar contract or put you ahead of the line, or who you know to give you X, Y, and Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we fix it, but we keep trying to tackle the biggest problems. But go back to what I said about the system being made of people. And therefore, if you started off in the beginning as, I wonder who I could call to get my X, Y, and Z. I wonder how I could bypass this line and that line. By the time you get to the top, that is part of you. So you fix those things. I mean, I understand, but that problem wasn't created overnight, and it will not get solved overnight. And anybody that says otherwise is really mama guy in the nation. But it can be solved. It can be solved if we all take responsibility for ourselves. So I can speak for myself when I tell you that I don't touch things that don't belong to me. I can speak for myself. And therefore, if we all take individual responsibilities to stop cutting the lines, to stop looking for the links, to stop looking for who you know, then you would not face the type of problems that you're facing. But that is, now there's a wider conversation as well in terms of enforcement and persons who are most likely, if you believe you are likely to be punished, you act accordingly. So there is a conversation to be had about enforcement and whatnot. But I think we all know that as well. But if I'm speaking from my philosophy as well in terms of building from a community, that we understand that it is hard work, industry, and a meritocracy that will get us into spaces, and then you start seeing changes. Trinidad and Tobago is a young nation. We are a young nation. We have time ahead of us, and so therefore we cannot believe our problems are insurmountable. We have to believe that by individuals seeking a way to do the right thing, we will get the kind of country we're looking for.
And also, too, while you're on that, in the Parliament, I know opposition is a formidable element in any democracy, because an opposition keeps the incumbent in check. But how do you, under the current establishment, get to be the opposition if every time you raise concerns, not every time, most of the times, you are being told, whoever it is, you're out of order or you're shut down. How do you fix that?
So I have been doing parliamentary debate since school. I was president of the debate society. I participated in all levels and all manner of debating competitions. And the one thing I know is that a presiding officer is there to facilitate the smooth flow of debate. Because what everybody should want is a vibrant debate. You want to hear all angles fleshed out, and because of the type of system that we have, you know that the deck is stacked. So you kind of know what the outcome would be in terms of the outcome. But what you should want as a nation is to hear all of the details fleshed out. And so we have had, while Parliament is the people's house, we have faced some difficulty, but we are a resilient group of people. So we found outlets outside of Parliament, and we will continue to do so, because when one door closes, you have to open another one.
But Ms. Haynes, isn't there? We can look at the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago with respect to the Parliament, right? So the party that wins the most seats gets to pick the Speaker of the House.
Correct.
Right? And most of the time, that speaker supposed to be bipartisan, right? Supposed to be not anti or pro that party, but if we are being honest, 90 to 95% of the time, that person is pro the party in power. That's not the way it's supposed to be.
No, you can be pro a political organization, or you could support. Trinidad is a small country, right? So if you figure out, you know who are frontline, middle line members of whatever party, right? But that should not or ought not to impede you from being a presiding officer, because your role is not to insert yourself into the debate. It is to allow for a free flow of debate. And that's why we haven't had the same kinds of issues, because really you sit down there and only somebody raises a point of order that you become involved. You can't raise points of order on your own. As if you get what I'm saying. And so supporting a political party is not the issue. It is allowing that to impact on how you do your job as and the role that it is meant to be, which is really to facilitate a free flowing and very robust debate. Because again, what you ought to want is the most robust debate possible, so that way by the time the legislation is enacted, it is you've gone through every corner, every crack, every crevice, and you try to shine a light where there may be darkness, and then you come up with a piece of legislation that can sit on the law books for years. And now you've seen people having to amend over and over and over. So
but I have to say that from an outsider looking in, unfortunately, it really hasn't been that way. From me as an outsider looking in, right?
correct.
And I think something has to be done in order to change that, so we could get some really serious, when there's serious issues, whether it's in the ruling party or the opposition side, that we get some real serious debate, right? And some people say that, and this is not you, right? Some people say that there are clowns in Parliament. I tell people that no, you cannot say there are clowns in Parliament. A clown is one of the most intelligent person in the circus, right? So if a person call me a clown, I'm happy. I tell them, I don't call me a clown all day, because when you go to the circus, one of the most intelligent person is a clown. Sometimes I just see You know, when I go back to explain a song, you know, the kicks in Parliament. It's like a long time. And I know there are certain things that happens, you know, because we have this system, we have this British system. I understand that, right? You know, but sometimes I think due to their allegiance, which you shouldn't have, but due to allegiance to a certain party, we miss a lot of the important debates that we should be having in Parliament.
So what you have, I always tell people, it's called the House of Representatives because it represents the will of the people. And when people discuss with me what is happening in Parliament, or what has happened in the past, or what will happen in the future, I say, listen, you have to acknowledge your own agency here. And they say, well, no, I didn't put anybody in here. I say, well, I didn't vote. I say, but precisely. And therein lies the problem, that you have absconded on your responsibility and that you've allowed yourself to be governed by persons who you know are trying to say are clowns or kicks in. But we all have an opportunity. We all have a way to have a say. And then this constant space of saying, well, it's just me, my voice. No, but if we are an organized society, if we are a society that knows what we're about and what we want, you make deliberate steps to again identify the problem. If you have a problem in the way things are being done at the top, you organize yourself properly to ensure that your voice is heard at the community level. Because as an MP, I have to listen to my community. And then when I take my voice out into Parliament, that is how you get the wheels turning. And so the House of Representatives represents the will of the people. And until every citizen takes very, very direct responsibility to ensuring that they understand their agency in the process, we aren't going to see many changes.
So,
One of the things is the
let me just ask this question, Gary. Let me just ask this question real quick. Ms. Haynes, Prasad Ramnath says, ask Ms. Haynes when Barapa will get a continuous water supply. I'm tired of filling buckets.
In 2021, we have had, I think it was Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, etc., talk of doing a little flight into space, right? And and in 2021 in Trinidad and Tobago, we have to discuss pipeline water. And I had the cause to stand on a wooden bridge in my constituency and ask that it be changed out because we ought not to have wooden bridges in any part of Trinidad and Tobago. And so I have been Barco is in the Naparima constituency, where part is in Naparima constituency and part is in the Maruga Tableland constituency. And my colleagues, and as well as myself for various areas in my own constituency, have been working very diligently to ensure that you get a step, because you cannot discuss the big things. You can't discuss solutions to the big problems if you are fighting for your basic necessities. Water is a basic necessity. Proper roadway infrastructure to just get to and from your home to your place of work, basic necessities. And that we have to still be fighting for that in 2021 is the reason we can't tackle the bigger problems. Because if you don't have the basics, how do you get to the bigger things? And so to answer your question, I'm sure that your representative is working on it, because you have to be in talks with the Ministry of Public Utilities. I am saying, and I have said this to the government, that you cannot be discussing things like property taxes or any additional taxes when you haven't met my basic needs with what you've been given thus far, and that I have to be asking for pipe-borne water, but we could be discussing revenue authority and property tax and whatever else. That is where we get into the line of the ridiculous. Do the basics, and then we can move on from there.
Go ahead, Gary. Gary.
We were talking about the situation with the parliament, and like what I saw, like I said, I have seen this, is that the present government lacks the respect and the recognition of the fact that the opposition was elected by the people. and is elected to serve, and they are conducting themselves as a total dictatorship, and they don't want to hear or take any any advice from the opposition. It's like it's like the opposition is a scorn, and they make it public. They just totally disrespect from what I see from day one with this government. I mean, we've seen the situation with the pandemic. They refuse to take no advice and suggestion. They refuse to take any suggestion from any of us outside here in the country. So it's a total lack of respect I see with the government there.
So, Miss
So what
Haynes,
I'm saying, these meetings that you're doing is very important to help build the community confidence and information and education and how we can move forward in resolving the issues. I think the cottage meetings is something that need to work consistently and keep strengthen the people from the ground up.
Absolutely. So, for example, what I did before the budget for fiscal 2022, because we can't go out as we ordinarily would, I started doing some online, some virtual kind of um, education on what the budget system is like, what you can expect, what I will advocate for, and then we solicited the advice from the communities and whatnot. So I agree absolutely that public education is important so that you know what your rights are, you know what the responsibilities are, and then we kind of move forward from a more informed space. I think that is critical going forward.
yes, someone says that I agree. Let the people vote for the president and the speaker. I don't see that. I don't see that happening to that anytime soon. unless we make some changes to the constitution, right? That
That would be a major, major overhaul. That's not
that
some changes, that's all the changes.
yeah. That's a big set of changes. That's a big set of
But the
changes.
people have to take a stand. The people have to take a stand, and the encouragement comes
Well,
from those that you
but
build up.
Gary, I don't know if the people have to take a stand or if the people in parliament have to have the testicular fortitude to do it. I think
I think
I
it's
think
both. I think it's both. I think it's both in that again, I don't I when you so if you go out and you so because we are exist in a two-party political system, people expect persons to come from a certain space, you expect certain things. But then I always say when I come in and I talk about the fact that areas in Forest Park, areas in Caratal, areas in Williamsville, Monteculanes, etc., that they have no pipe or water. I am not making that up to make the government look bad. These are real people and real stories. This is a real challenge that you could have no water for 8 weeks, 9 weeks, and then still be receiving a water bill in your mail all the time. And so I do that, but it also needs to be backed up by real people and real stories. So I think it goes hand in hand. It's equal part community activism and representative politics, and that's how again you get the results you're looking for.
The
you
soldiers are the
know
backbone of the generals, Anson. The soldiers are the backbone of the generals. Okay, so if we don't have that kind of support, then the leadership cannot really move forward. So there has to be a certain amount of participation. I always like to say we need soldiers and not spectators. And but the groundwork has to continue with the cottage meetings, and Anita is doing the right thing in her constituency there with that.
and Miss Hayes, how is your constituency of Tabaki doing?
My constituency is um, we're doing as best as we can. I've had some challenges, but I've had major infrastructural challenges. The Minister of Works admitted that 10% of the major landslips right now exist within my constituency. And so working to ensure that persons again can just get home safely has been taken up such a huge chunk of the work that I have to do. I've had the very sad case of meeting with four families um, four families in Caratal who will need to be relocated because their houses, the landslip have in danger of taking their houses altogether. And so we are facing, I mean, you have the pandemic, you have major job losses, you have a lot of people in strained circumstances, and then you have all of these infrastructural challenges as well. So um, it has been a learning experience. I continue to do my best to advocate on behalf of all the persons who live in Tabaki. And I've also been trying to champion a cause of rural development. And that's more than the infrastructure. That is investing in rural communities, investing in agriculture, investing in education, and connecting rural communities so that we can be major contributors to the national economy and the national space. So I continue to do that. And I hope that as I am able to go forward in my term and we go past and we continue to live in a new normal, but in a space that allows us to interact a little bit more, that we can get some work done and make Tabakit the heartbeat of Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, Ms. Sims, I have to say, right, and you see, I ain't getting no difficult questions, right?
Come with it now, man. Don't be afraid of it.
Gary, today we celebrating today, boy. Today is a celebration.
I'm actually speaking to you all from my aunt's and uncle's house because I came down to celebrate Diwali with them. So everybody's passing by to say.
Yeah, that's why I don't want them to hear you accent, kind of thing in this day. I wanted to come in and we could celebrate, So I think, I think, Ms. Haynes, really, I think that this was really fantastic. We had some questions, you asked some questions, you give us some of your time in this time here. So we don't want to hold you any longer, really. We want you to go back and celebrate with your family because you know how important, a holiday and a celebration this is. So we really appreciate you taking time to join us. Any closing words before you go?
No, I want to thank you for having me, and I also want to say congratulations to all of you for the work that you've been doing and the program that you have, because it really allows for progressive discussion. And again, that is also a major input in creating the kind of society that we need. And to your listeners, I hope everyone has a very introspective holiday and that we remember that light always triumphs over darkness. And so no matter what we're going through as a nation, we will come through it better. I genuinely believe that.
And Ms. Haynes, we'll absolutely leave on that note. Thank you so very kindly. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Okay, take care. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you, sis, for taking the time. So
You're welcome.
We will bring you back for the heated discussion at another
no
time.
Problem. No problem.
Okay, thank you so very much. Take care. But you see, Gary, there's a time and place. Time and place is important. And I'm serious. Time and place is important. That discussion we just had there, Gary, was a fantastic discussion for this time that we are in here today.
Some food, eh? Some food.
Yeah. You don't need to, there's time and place, man. Time and place for everything. And this wasn't the time and place to ask any of those other types of questions, so to speak. All right. So we wanted to keep it nice and upbeat, and that's what we did. We keep it nice and upbeat. Now she could go back and finish celebrate with her family, and and she took the time here, during this time, So all I can say is thank you very kindly.
We could create a little kind of a panel where we have members on both sides, if we can get, and kind of continue some kind of healthy discussion, because we seem to be unable to do it in Parliament. So what I'm shooting at and would like to, and I hope some of them are listening, is that we would like to bring some from the PNM, some from the UNC, and try to get some kind of healthy discussion.
But Gary, and people have to understand this, It's not like we are not inviting people from the PNM. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. If you invite somebody, right, and they decide they don't want to come, you keep it moving. There's going to come a point in time when they believe that they should come. And that's simple. Now, Mad Dog and Nutscake, they look like they're brothers. They're absolutely brothers. right? My dog says, at Ansem, tell Miss Anita I love she, and she's my idol. I want to be like she when I get big, right? That's my dog. You see, that's why he has that name, my dog. And here the other one, carrot cake. Yeah. Diana, answer the question for me. When I was a small nutty, I dreamed my wife would name Anita.
Lord.
You see? Two of them. You see, when you have a name like Mad Dog and Carrot Cake, what do you expect? Let me see if Little Mona say anything. Let me see if he say anything.
Yeah, they call him Madonna now. Yeah. I better look in that Donna Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah, what she tell you? She says that PNM, but she said for not for long. Yeah, what she tell you? Not for long.
Let me see
looking at the beauty and the intelligence come in with this, with the other side. Again, you got to take that into consideration.
Oh, my dog say he named that to be. My dog say I mean that to be honest. Okay, my dog. All right.
You know.
So what?
Little Ellis Island wants to know. Wait now, Cyrus Kane. Cyrus Kane. And oh God, Cyrus Kane coming, and this must be like his 25th post. All he posts in his PNM country.
Look, they got a new name for you now, Waldas.
Look, who's that? I'm gonna write that one down. Waldas.
Waldas. Oh,
How's Haley?
Yeah.
Hey Haley.
Waldas.
Hey, Holofield, welcome. Holofield Umi, welcome, boy. Haley, go ahead, Tommy.
The discussion could be PNM and UNC all day, all night, every night. But we have to really focus on the fact that it has to be Trinidad and Tobago first. Nation, like you were saying, we have to build this nation together.
And Tommy, you are so right, because when people come in, we want to hear things about what you are doing to move the country forward.
Mm-hmm.
What is being done for country, not just what's being done for party. We understand that you have you have an allegiance to a party, but also what is being done for country. Little Ellis Islands want to know, what should have you invited Dolly? I don't know Dolly. You mean,
when you go into the parliament, the campaigning should be finished, and you focus on the issue of the country. All right, but this government is the worst government I've ever seen in Trinidad, with spitting poison from the time they hit the ground into government. It's like you can't have a good conversation with them. They want to hear for you.
Gary, this government was than the now government.
Oh Lord, here we go again.
Hey, Gary.
I didn't know much about the now government.
So then how can you say this is the worst government? All right, let's take this call. Hello, Ulrich, you in the village with the DAG Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM.
Good night, Gary. Good night, Ms. Diane. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Ulrich.
That interview was a very good interview. And I like how you keep it light, because, in the midst of celebration, you go with uncertainty at this time. But when you bring her back, make sure hard questions.
Boy, I have my 2 guns blazing, boy. I take my 2 guns and I put them under the table. I said, no, this is not the right time. Ulrich, you are right. Time and place.
Time and place, yeah. I see Gary ready to go for the juggler, boy.
Yeah, but you see, I hold him back. Yeah. I hold him back. We went in Port of Spain and went on the horse track, and I jump on and I hold in the bridle, man. I hold him. And listen, I take off the blinders so he could see fully. I don't want him look straight ahead when you see yellow. I don't.
I ain't Tommy at all.
Tommy's here. But
Tommy there. Yeah, he there.
Oh, Diana looking beautiful as usual. They move from red to black rose now.
Yes, she put a muff. That's a muff she have on tonight. A black muff.
Hey, Barrington Levy sang a song, Black Rose in My Garden. Yeah. Dark.
I made that point there tonight, and that was a very serious point. That touched me. I had to call in on this.
What point is that?
When she was talking about the material coming from Lavanti to build for the screen. That is fact, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how she know that though. I don't know how she know that. Somebody tell she that.
Hello.
But Mr. Bakal said that while he was here too.
He was here up to the age of 18, so she just know a lot of things. If you remember coconut growers, when she passed and get the smell.
Talk your talk.
That goes a long way. And you see where you pass and get the smell of the coconut?
Yeah.
There, and a crusher.
Yeah.
Already mixed. And
yeah.
the train used to also pass right on that stretch there.
Oh, look, there's on the main road.
Right. That's why I tell you.
They're not really Laventille proper.
I don't know anything about Laventille.
Of course, but I don't really Laventille. Anybody passing on the main road could say that. I thought you went up into the hills. So what? Now that don't come.
I don't know nobody up in there.
Right.
That don't come.
All right, but it has 5 crushers in Laventille. It has 3 in really the Catholic churches.
Yeah.
Adjacent to the Catholic church have 3. So we used to go to the cemetery to go down by the crushers to flip football. It have 3 in Laventille, had 3 in Laventille, and 2 in Prisgalan, plus already mixed. So all the material like the gravel and thing, all the stones they used to take out because Laventille had so all the stones they used to take out from the crusher area, they used to grind it and make it, you know, how it does make like gravel. So Mr. Anna, you're correct. Even the swimming pool at the build the other day, the stones from the from St. Laventille they used to build the pool. And when the president house fell the other day, the stone again from Laventille they used to repair the president. So I was touched with the statement by Ms. Diane. You're real touched with that because hardly people talk about things from Laventille and achievements and things of Laventille. It's only thing for one where we get a little thing now and again, but Ms. Diane.
Ulrich, I feel Diana was trying to send you some little message that she knew a little something about Laventille. You know?
Oh, please. Oh, please.
Think to talk and think to whisper.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, good show as usual, man. I hate it. You know, I'm getting my Jones here, but I like the Diane. You go to the head of the class tonight, and simply.
Thank you, Ulrich.
Ulrich, thanks a lot, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah. You see? Go ahead for me.
But just getting back to the discussion, this government, that government, the other government.
Tommy, you want to hold your discussion? Let's go for a quick station identification, all right? Hold it right there. Right? Stay right there. Of course, guys, it's in the village with the DAG Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Let's go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the DAG Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Hello, caller, you on WZYE 95.9 FM. Caller? Yes, we hear you. Go ahead. Yes, you on WZYE 95.9 FM.
We're not hearing them.
Are you hearing us?
I'm not hearing the caller.
Are you hearing us, caller? Yes, we are hearing you, caller. Go ahead. Caller, we are hearing you. Who's this? Yeah, what's your name?
Turn up your volume.
Turn up the volume, we're not hearing them, and you.
No, we had the volume only up. What's your name? All right, okay. Diana, Wendy wants you to call her after the show.
Yes,
okay, all right.
Wendy
all right.
who?
You are listening to
Wendy.
WZYE.
Diana, hold on. Hold 1 minute. Diana, Wendy from Trinidad wants you to call her after the show.
Wendy from Trinidad?
Yes, she actually called on the regular line.
I don't know Wendy from Trinidad.
Well, look in your
number in the chat.
Yeah, so Wendy, if you're listening, look, now if Diana push the number in the chat, little Ron Horn go take it. Yeah, little Ron Horn go take it. And he go start to call Diana.
Put your number, Anton. Put your number.
Tell her I should tell her I'm on Facebook. Inbox me.
No, listen. Tell her call the WhatsApp number.
973.
Call the WhatsApp number 973-868-1444. Call her, Wendy. Call the WhatsApp number 973-868-1444. 973-868-1444. Yeah, Wendy from Chumakak.
Yeah, but
yeah, go ahead, Tommy, go ahead.
Group. You know, I'm sitting here and I realize that sometimes we just focus on the current administration, this government, and this and that and the other thing. But I'm saying, and I've been saying for the longest, there was an excellent opportunity to change the playbook or to revise the playbook in a meaningful way, because the administration before this one had an overwhelming majority that they could have used to really make a difference. But did they really want to make a difference? I don't think so. They were focused on crap. Because if they were
really... Tommy, you got an explanation about that from a few people that was in here before.
Yeah.
How difficult. It's easier said than done. It's work in progress. You can't shove things down people's throat. It's something that has to take place.
When you have a overwhelming majority, right? Or a meaningful majority, or let's say 2/3 or whatever they say it is, and you really want to make a difference or you want to make a change, and you got 5 years, you have enough time. You can truly make a meaningful change. But the focus, they get lost. The focus got lost. Why? Because they were too busy doing crap. So I don't want to hear the rhetoric at this particular point. All we got to do right now is bring meaningful solutions and get this thing working, get this country working right. Because some simple things seems to be such a big deal when it is not, and it should not be. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of it.
But how do you work? How you get the simplest thing done with the government? Is so arrogant, Tommy. How do you get it? We couldn't get the simplest thing done with them. They're so arrogant and puffed up in their chest.
I'm not disputing what you say, but at the same time, the government is not just those who are on the ruling side. Those who are in the opposition are part of the governance also, because they represent.
Well, this government don't recognize that. You see that plainly in the parliament.
Hey,
their attitude, Tommy, was the people reject you. We don't want to hear you. That was the attitude of they want.
Yeah, but you're not rejected if you have a seat.
But this is how they conduct themselves in the parliament.
And Gary,
everybody's in there represents somebody, so they're not powerless. And guess what? They can find ways to make themselves relevant if they feel that they're being relegated to irrelevance.
Well, after 6 years, I think we have to take the fight to the people and bring all the people against the government. That's what
Gary, the point Tommy's making is a well taken point. On property tax, listen carefully. On Monday, the 21st of December 2009, during the last sitting of Parliament, the property tax bill was passed with 22 PNM members voting for the bill and 10 UNC opposition members voting against. On January 1st, 2010, the property tax became law. That same year, listen carefully, that same year, the PP promised to add the tax if they got into office. When they got into office, it was a promise they did not keep.
Exactly.
That goes to show you, Gary. These are just the little things, Gary. Little things, we talk about the theory of broken windows.
I am not denying the fact, I am
but
not
yeah,
denying
Gary,
the fact.
when we talk about the theory of broken windows, when you see an abandoned building with one glass broken and you leave it there, eventually, many people are going to come along and break almost all the panes in the building because they didn't fix that one broken window.
And ask them based on their property.
But you rescued that people out of that building, and you yourself said it. The people, maybe the building was not fit for renovation. We don't know.
Gary, you're mixing things up when I talk about property tax.
The present government provided an immediate solution to rescue those people. Your party would have left them there with that broken windows and
Gary,
the children.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about property tax. They had a chance to ask the tax. They promised people. That's why they ran on, Gary. And when they got in there in 2010, they had an opportunity to ask the tax, right? They went back on their promise. And that is part of their history, Gary.
But that's just one thing. They promised to revise.
That's just one thing. That's what I'm saying. And this is fact.
They promised to get the Constitution revised. That's why you think people voted for them overwhelmingly, because they were talking a good talk, but they never kept their word.
And Dr. Figaro talked about that. Dr. Figaro talked about that. We got rid of the PNM because they weren't doing what they're supposed to do, and we gave you an opportunity to make history in Trinidad and Tobago. And when you go in there, you did not keep your promises.
And now you have all the damn excuses in the world why you didn't keep your excuses. Keep your promises when you had an overwhelming majority to make things happen.
Yeah.
What kind of crap? I don't want to hear the crap now. I don't want to hear it.
If you outside, look lately, you outside, and you telling people no, and people saying no, and when you go inside the parliament, it's a horse of a different course. Come on, man. You abstained.
Senator Gandhi was here.
Have a voice.
Gary, you abstained in 2018 for the vote against Gary Griffith as Commissioner of Police. You abstained. You're sitting on the sidelines. You're playing for the soccer warriors. It was on the bench. And you didn't have to be on the bench because you was in the parliament. You abstained. And now you're running up and down the road fighting for Gary Griffith. The worst commissioner of police in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. The worst.
I don't believe the entire party is fighting for him.
When you vote for a party that they're going to do something, they don't do it, you wasted your vote.
But Gary, anytime you hear Indar Singh come in here and he talk about when they caucus in the parliament, some of them may disagree, but if the leader says how we going, that's how we going. So if the leader say this is the way we going, everybody had to follow in line. That is not just for the UN, that's for the PNM too. Come on, man.
Man, guess what?
People can say what they want. Listen, people can say what they want. Just what I'm saying is facts.
You say Gary Griffith is the worst commissioner of police, but I'm going to bring you the facts. Eventually, I'm going to bring you the facts.
Who was worse than Gary Griffith?
Both political parties are playing games with the people of this country. They're playing bloody games. And the shit has to stop. The buck has to stop at some point. They're both playing with the people.
Look, Miami Jesus, welcome. Go ahead. No, Gary, we have to stop. All right, let me give you an next example, right? The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago said, we're not closing down Petrotrin. Right? If you went to your fridge and you didn't hear what I said, we're not closing down Petrotrin, and what happened? What happened? It's both sides of the political divide.
Both of them full of crap.
Yeah, but beside that fact, Ansem, what I'm looking at is the heartlessness and arrogance in Dr. Rowley's administration. I did not see that from the other side.
Gary. You see, Gary? Anita Haynes said it well. Eh?
These are the things I'm looking at. I am not looking about who better than who ordered. I'm looking at the level of inconsideration to our people, the amount of things Dr. Rowley take away from the people that Kamala Prasad Visesa government put in place to assist our people through tough times and build themselves up. These same disadvantaged people you just be talking about, they can't even provide milk for the children. Dr. Rowley, take it away.
So, but they're both full of crap. Don't try to put one above the other. They're both full of crap.
Tommy, I want anyone to prove to me there is only one guy that could compete with Gary Griffith as the worst commissioner of police, and that is my friend. One guy. One. You know who that is? One guy.
I know.
That's my friend, James Filbert. And James Filbert is my friend.
I thought you were going to say Burroughs.
No. Burroughs, no. Only one guy could compete with Gary Griffith as the worst. And here's why he could compete with Gary Griffith. He had the first highest ever murder rate in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, 550, and the fourth, 509 in 2009.
Invite James Filbert. Let's find out why.
Nah, Filbert is my partner.
You know,
Why? No.
It's joke making. It's joke making. It's joke making. I'm going back to him.
Remember what my schoolmate said? He said he was surprised that Gary got that job, knowing the character of that person. He said he was
the worst commissioner of police in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And let me say this.
Was it
the
one
only improvement by Gary Griffith was a perception of improvement.
Wait, I'm get the perception. In fact, I requested the evidence. I'm going to bring the paperwork in your face.
But you have to bring evidence because I have all the evidence here. I'm going to bring the
evidence of the improvement he made in the police force. Okay? The things that he improved in the police force. Okay? I'm going to bring it. In fact, let's try this. Let's invite
where are the body cams? Where are the body cams he touted so much? Where are the body cams on the policemen? Have you seen them?
Did he get the sufficient amount of body cams for all the police officers? They got
that fellow is all talk. With
a budget of the magnitude that he had, he couldn't buy body cams. Give me a break.
Yeah, but were you listening to Senator Damian with money allocated and money you receive?
Listen, I receive excuses. I can't take no more excuses. I'm here on the ground and I can't take no more bloody excuses for all the crap.
But wait. Listen to Little Ellis Island. Little Ellis Island. You see, Ellis, you don't have no facts. You said Stephen Williams was the worst. But listen to this. Think about this, right? If Stephen Williams was the worst in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, Listen to Stephen Williams' numbers, in murders. 2013, 408. And you know what they will say? What they will say next, Diana, wait for it, Diana, wait for it. I'm warning you. Wait for it, Diana. Wait for it, I'm going. Stephen Williams, 2013, 408 murders. 2014, 403 murders. 2015, 410 murders. Right? Kidnapping, 2007, 155. That's under James Filbert. Stephen Williams, 2014, 2. 2015, 3. 2016, 0. And Stephen Williams is worse than Gary Griffith? Boy, look now. Look, that fact there could never spell out that Stephen Williams was worse than Gary Griffith. Never. So Ellis Island, boy, look, take a drink now, man. Take a little more now. Take a sorrel now, man. Take a red sorrel now, man. So you
don't want to admit the fact that Steve Williams was supported by Gary Griffith as either Minister of National Security or
wait.
So to the Prime Minister, and the PPG government provided the necessary resources. You gotta have a government working with the police commissioner and not working against the commissioner of police.
Gary, that is what we I have to tell you. I have to call up Angus Even. You have to go and play for the Soca Warriors. you have to play. You have to play for the Soca Warriors, Gary. Gary, you play football in your days?
No.
Football? I play everything, boy. Wait a minute, I'm from Trinidad. I play everything.
All right. Well, the Soca Warriors are looking for some goalpost movers. People that shift the goalposts. All of a sudden,
numbers don't lie. And if you
Williams, had Gary Griffith as national security. And that is why Steve Williams' numbers was better than the former Minister of National Security. Who then became COP, and he was worse than the man who he was in charge of when he was Minister of National Security. That making any sense?
With him. He got a government that was working with him and providing the necessary support, not only in the police force, but on the border fence line, in the Coast Guard, okay, in the different avenues of the security forces. You cannot have a man giving you a job. I was a security manager. I was given a position to do certain things, and I had administration undermining me. I went through all of that stuff here too.
Oh.
The people that you think, the people that think that wants the right thing were the ones that ripping off. Okay?
Gary, so far, Gary, all I have to tell you is that, you see, all that we could come here and we could talk till the cows come home to roost. I more like to deal with the facts. And like people like little Ellis Island.
The
right?
facts has to be allocated with more information, and then the numbers you just can't look at numbers. You have to look at the ingredients surrounding the numbers.
What?
Well, run for election and
run for election. Yeah, run for election. The election. I don't look at numbers. That hey, look at the election we just had here with Governor Murphy and the fella I didn't even know, the Republican, almost beat Governor Murphy.
Citarelli.
There we go. Thank you, Diana. I ain't even know the fella. Me and my wife looking at the results on the other night. And you hear me now? Who is he? We don't hear about he.
But lie.
We don't hear about he. And it's how close the numbers was. Numbers don't lie, boy. Numbers don't lie. You could swing it all you want. Listen, I want to see the 50% increase in crime currently that Gary Griffith said we have. You was the former commissioner of police.
Not 50% increase. He had 55 murders, he said, since he left there.
We'll say 50% increase for this month. Gary, let's think about this now, Gary.
There's an increase of home invasion. There's an increase of a lot of things going on in the country.
But Gary, let's look at the bigger picture now. Gary, I was former commissioner of police of Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to go in the newspaper to justify there's a spike in crime. How could you be so wicked and evil, boy? The same place you was in charge of, the same men who used to fight for you, you don't want to make them people look like that, boy? What kind of human being are you? What kind of human being are you? So it's your way or the highway. You alone, nothing. What type of human being are you, Gary? I'm talking about Gary Griffith. What type of human being are you?
Evil, corrupt.
Evil? The only way you can put it that fella is evil. Gary, imagine, I worked 23 years at the New York Stock Exchange. I now come in and tell them, boy, hey, the stock exchange was the worst place for me to ever work, boy. Them people and them there, them was this, them was C, them was D. 23 years I work, you know. Gary Griffith only worked less than 3 years, and that man come into the media to tell you, yeah, them people lying. The same people had to now go and defend Gary Griffith and the family. That fella is evil.
That is to tell you,
Commissioner of Police in the history of Trinidad and Tobago.
Surrounded by people who was undermining him in the force, and you don't want to seem to recognize that.
He had to mind his own self with his bloody mouth. All he was doing is running his mouth like a friggin', like if he had diarrhea at the mouth.
But look, Rajvi, you're correct. Rajvi, you're right. What about the recount in Florida again? And next recount is recount. Numbers don't lie. Right? Look how they feel. How they feel come.
You want to come to pill, I will curry chicken. You can't do that. There's no comparison.
Yeah. Listen how they feel. Why does Wall Street have to make Gary Griffith topic of the show and really glorify him until we do what he wanted? I don't make Gary Griffith the topic of the show. Look how we talk. We talked to MP Anita Haynes for almost an hour. The first hour we only talk about Diwali. Right? He's not the topic of the show. He was just an abysmal failure. That is all. All they want to call him that. Anybody Give me facts to show that Gary Griffith was one of the best COPs in Trinidad and Tobago, right? Right? Or let's show me the facts.
So
that
the man have an 80% approval rating from the population, and you want to talk about you need more evidence? Which commissioner of police had that?
And there was more murders.
Commissioner of police had that?
And there was more murders. Which one you rather? Approval rating or less murders?
Why did he get the approval rating? You got to know about the gun.
Gary, I ask you a simple question. If that question too hard, I go ask you an easier one.
You're making judgment based on numbers. You cannot make the judgment based on
Gary
numbers.
Mahabir, which one do you rather? An approval rating or less murders in the country?
Well, if you get an 80% approval rating for the population, it's not a show business. It's something that he did there that caused that.
The ruling government got a majority approval when it came to the polls. Are you pleased with that? Do you think that it's worth it? What's up with that? Isn't that the same story? Come on, man.
If the population 80% of the population approve of the man's performance, he had to do something there. That is right.
Yeah. Gary, their performance too, and put them back. Are you with it? Are you 100% with what the approval for the ruling government is? That they put them back in 2020? Come on,
well,
Gary.
we saw how the election went down, and to tell you the truth, that election should have been
What did you see?
Come on, Tommy, you saw what went down there.
So listen to Breadstick.
With Gary Griffith too.
But listen to Breadstick. I could show you one fact, Ansem. The people of Trinity did fear him, and that's what we need, not a joker. So Breadstick, I want Gary Griffith. Gary Griffith rating could have been 100%, and there are 700 murders in the country, and you happy for that? You happy for that? Or they happy for that? So you know what? Look, let me start that Trinidad business, eh? Let me start that Trinidad business. Bejan, you come here. Bejan, you take over.
You can't start that Trinidad business if you wish.
Bejan, come and take over now. Why you so quiet?
No. I'm not getting involved.
Because we want murders galore, and we want to have a higher approval rating. That's what we good for.
Let's get real. What is murders in Trinidad is taking place? What is the recipe for it? What is the cause? Why it reached like this? What are the ingredients involved in these murders?
So you saying it's acceptable?
The problem is systematic.
I am not saying it's acceptable. What are the ingredients for the leading to what we're dealing with in the country here?
Gary Griffith's supposed to take care of that as the commissioner of police.
So Gary Griffith's supposed to be the father of all of them children. That woman make child.
And you want to blame Dr. Rory now? Dr. Rory should be the father of all of them women.
Dr. Rory had to be. That's why he tell them to choose their men wisely, right? He said he can't choose who to sleep with. But what I'm saying to you is, what is the ingredients? What we dealing for? Is not that children without guidance that went through the system and fall through the crack. That is the cause of the gunslingers in the country.
Tikisha, call and bust your mark, yes? Call and bust your mark. Tikisha will mark the bus. Call and bust it, Tikisha. Bust your mark. If your Gary Griffith was the worst thing. People in Valencia were saying Gary Griffith was the worst thing in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. The worst.
But Anselm,
yeah.
You know, I hate to say it, right? But I'm going to say it. No, you cannot legislate people's thoughts and actions. Don't care. You could put a tyrant in as a police commissioner, right? And I'm a product of a tyrant who tried to bully me, and she couldn't legislate the things I did. So no whatever law you have in there, what commission you have in there, you can't stop a guy from getting. I go and commit crime today. How do you stop it? And like Gary said, what are the ingredients that cause this person to pick up a gun and go rob, kill? What is the mitigating factors that cause this person, whether it be Indo, African, Chinese, whatever, to go and pick up a gun and do something, a knife or rape a young lady, what are the mitigating factors? Gary Griffith wasn't there with them when they decide. I go in, he ain't do them nothing personally. Gary Griffith didn't do them nothing personally.
Diana Benskin. Okay, Diana Benskin, take that. Take that, Diana Benskin. All right? I agree with you. So, and you're going to turn around and blame the Prime Minister, right? For all the ills that them same people have.
I did not blame the Prime Minister in my speech. I asked, no, like Gary.
I'm asking, what? Are you going to turn around and blame the Prime Minister?
Persons have to take responsibilities for their own action and self. What are the mitigating factors that cause a young man, because there's a lot of young men committing crime, go and pick up this gun, go and a knife and want to rob and rape and kill? What caused, where did the breakdown go? Well, when did it happen? When did it happen? Because all the hardships I've been through, I never once pick up a gun, never was inclined to go harm or hurt anybody. I have seen my share of hardships. I mean, hardship that would make me, I should have been a piper by the corner or somebody doing all kind of things like, to hell the world, nobody likes me, ever. They treated me badly, I grew up poor, you name it. All the ingredients for me to be a criminal, a dropout, a delinquent in society, you're looking at here. What caused me not to go down that road? It's a personal responsibility for yourself and toward your fellow community, your fellow
Diana,
humans.
but you had people.
Hold on, guys, hold on. You have a caller on the line. You have a caller. Hello, Takesha, welcome.
You know,
Gary, hold on. Gary, hold 1 minute. We have Shub Diwali to you too, Takesha. Welcome. We have Takesha on the line. Go ahead, Takesha.
And so I have marked a bus, right?
Yeah.
A robbery take place where a security officer had lost his life in the line of duty and the next person injured. 7 suspects was whole, but the police put out there to let the public know, right? They hold 7 suspects, including a female. They put out these fellas and them ages, they address even down to the young lady, her age and her address, right? And some whole and behold, right, Ansem? This is not a legend, this is a fact, right? That they let go the lady, you notice, I don't know if it is the auditors really follow crime and thing, they let go the young lady, they didn't let the public know, right? They didn't address it. They let go the young lady, and they let go one of the individual, right? One of the young men. And so they beat these people and them to a pulp, right? At the point in time, and so why I'm speaking out against it, because these police officers and them, whether if it's under Gary Griffith or not, they need proper training. And they just stigmatize and they just put out people names and victimize people before they do the thorough investigation. The young lady that the whole and one of the individual that they let go, if one of the fellas, one of the suspects run in their home, the police didn't ask a question. They run in the house behind them, and the gentleman who was there, one of the young boy who was there in the house who lives there, the RAF he too, and so they beat them to a pulp. And so no matter how people keep telling them these people are nothing, this fella running the people in them house. And so they put out the character, they put out the name, everything, the area with the from, everything they stigmatized, the whole and behold, that they let them go within yesterday, a whole week. The gentleman who was held unaccounted for, he was held innocently against his will. They beat him until his sugar level dropped and he was to rush to the hospital. The public can know these things. Somebody calling on Sergeant Alexander, which is beyond the tape, yesterday, asking about the suspect and then why they did not hear nothing. They didn't see the faces here on the papers and whatnot. All and behold, Mr. Alexander saying over the TV that it's under the police need a proper investigation and let the police do the work. But they tarnish the young lady and they tarnish the young lady cousin who lives in the home. They tarnish their character, put them out there, like to let the public feel that they was criminals at the point in time, knowingly that they did not do the investigation. And I'm very upset with that. It's not alleged, it's a fact answer. That is why I'm speaking out against it. You don't do these things. You don't put people name and where they live and thing until you know to a fact that something take place. You understand? And then when they let go the young lady and her cousin yesterday in the presence of their lawyer, they are telling them that it's not the fault that the picture went out, is to blame the reporters. What reporters answer? We didn't have no reporters. Is the police did that? The police did that. The police did that. Take out pictures of them and put it out there. The police put the age, the full name, and the address where they hold them in the house. Everything answered. It's not the reporters. So I ask you tonight. I know today is Diwali. Get them a flush, please. They need proper training. They need proper training, and it's not under Gary Griffith and it's whoever, because whoever acting now, who deputy acting, whoever it is, he was there too on the scene. He was there in volunteer on the scene. At the point in time when the crime take place, he was there. Shame on them. Shame on them.
Okay.
And yes, answer, man.
Call them out, sister. You call them out.
But sometimes it is, you're not in Trinidad, I'm going to tell you again. Just hear any word Gary Griffith place of fear in a lot of people, a lot of criminals out there. You understand? Gary Griffith is no more, despite all what Gary Griffith did. Yes, he do his stupidness. Nobody's perfect. Like Rowley doing his stupidness. As you just say, a favorite line, a liar has no memory. Tell Rowley that too, because he always forget he does lie. And he does lie with a full face. And I'm saying in the chat before, answer him, better you bring pepper sauce on the program and Faris go come. If you send an interview and you bring the pepper sauce and then he go come. You understand? Because it seems that every time for this program running here, we can't get one PNM. One PNM who in authority, who high. I ain't talking about the lower class, you know. I'm talking about them in authority. You understand? Like how Munilal and this young lady, Miss Anita, now gone. Kamala come sometime. Why you can't get nobody to come on the program?
Now Kamala ain't come here.
To really ask them certain questions and answer what taking place in the country. There's a lot of madness taking place. The crime rate going up higher than the COVID right now. It's a competition. COVID is 200 cases or 14 deaths or 10 deaths. It's the same thing with the murder rate. The final young lady who was missing. Nobody not just these issues. Everybody just on crime and Gary. Crime and Gary. Crime and Gary. And it have a lot of more things taking place in the country. Gary don't laugh and go on his way. Gary don't make his money to the same way. A lot of other countries got for commissioner like Gary too. I was watching an interview, somebody was asking Gary if he will apply for Barbados. Barbados is a commissioner sometime coming up here, if he will apply for the race. Have a good night, everybody.
Tikisha, it was a pleasure.
I just need to put it out.
All right, thank you so much, Tikisha.
Good night.
And when people say they're too wicked, they like to victimize people and say, yes, only like the two wicked gang. But a lot of people don't know what does really take place in the police service. They need proper training.
Tikisha, thank you so very kindly. All right.
Good night.
And Slim, here's what I always say, that systems, because if you're a good leader, you put a system in place that even if you turn your back, it works.
Yeah.
System needs good people, not just good leader, good people. But we have to clean house, and one sheriff can't clean up the town. That's why they're putting Gary Griffith in there and leaving all the rotten apples among him is not going to work or resolve much. I'm surprised he got so much done.
He too might be a damn rotten apple.
Oh Lord! You see, you know what? You know, and I listen to you guys, and you represent varying factors of Trinbagonians, right? I neutral. I just say what I got to say. Or I ain't owe no allegiance to nobody. And I was talking before Tikisha came in.
I don't know allegiance to nobody because nobody did nothing for me. I try to support what I thought was best at the time.
When we talk about the criminal element, right? And I always inject myself in there. You talk about no father to no father. You're being abused. You're hungry. You don't know. These are elements that Diana could have been a criminal. I could have been a criminal and blame it on my upbringing. What stopped me from going and becoming a criminal? Maybe it was personal persuasion. You understand? I had a principal, Dr. Anna Haynes. I had my godmother. Those kind of. There's something you have to do to capture these young people who are going toward criminal activity. Because it would have been easy for me to say, you know what, I give up. Nobody like me and they just treat me
you
bad.
talk about those people who you grew up with. They offer you some good advice, right?
Yeah, you understand? So you
when
can't
I'm looking at Diana.
Wait, Gary. I grew up on the boroughs. How come I went and go and do no crime? It's a personal conviction of yourself. But there are people that were still doing it. But if I wanted to be, I could. Yeah, the elements were there for me to be a dropout, a criminal. I get treated bad. Or offset. You know, I have PTSD. Nobody don't like me. I don't know who my father is. I get all these. I've been there. I've been there. So I say to you, you cannot legislate a person's thoughts and action. Don't go. You can't blame the criminal element. Decide to pick up a gun. Who killed that young lady? The young lady, they're just fine. What? Where? How? What? At what point? And do you say I go in and do this today? What is the mitigating factors for me to become a dropout, a delinquent, a criminal was there? So they're mitigating factors that force these young people into crime. I'm telling you, Anselm, they're mitigating factors, and you have to capture that element in society, or visit the home. There's something got to be from the home. I'm telling you, it comes from. It's there. And when they come out of school, they have no passes, no opportunity for work. What you think will happen? What do you think will happen? There's no motivating person in their lives, no beacons telling them, there's a better tomorrow. And you actually see this person walking the walk, telling you, acknowledging you, looking you in the eye, acknowledging that you're a person, your presence. Because those things were important to me. Because in my home, I was invisible. But then, I was treated very badly. But when I went to school, I was acknowledged. I was called Miss Benskin. I was made the goalkeeper of the school's hockey team. You understand? I was on debate teams. I led the school in worship, a whole lot of things. I ran relays, all kind of things. Shot put, discuss. I was acknowledged. Something got to give.
Necessary support. This is the key factor.
Something got to give. It is not the commissioner of police fault. Crime. I keep telling all of that. It's a personal conviction. You have to say with yourself, look, I don't want to go down that road. I want to do something better for myself. I am not going to harm my fellow man, my fellow woman. It's a personal conviction. I'm telling you. That's all I got to say right now.
What I would say is that Frederick Douglass says it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men.
Yep.
And you see, part of the problem in Trinidad and Tobago is that we are in the blame game. Okay? When something happens, you're looking for somebody to blame. We are always looking for people to blame. I mean.
Yeah, but year out, year in, consistently, all this budget and all this money are located. But how much is reaching the children in that specific community to cause them to have a change of direction?
Corruption, Gary. Corruption. There's one word. Corruption. Corruption. That's why it's not reaching where it's supposed to reach.
All right. That is what Senator Damien was saying again the other day. Money allocated, but not
until we decide to stamp out corruption. Right? But Gary, some of those things are easy to, I will say this, because you see, when I grew up back in Trinidad and Tobago, we had something called territorial sports. Every year, we had different clubs. Hibiscus was all the different flowers.
Was the church involved? There was a lot. You were surrounded by a lot of support.
Yeah, man. We used to look forward to that sport every single year. We used to have small goals competition on Wharton Street in Laventille every Saturday. We had another competition up by Ramdale. We had competition in the Queen's Park Savannah. Look at the condition of the Queen's Park Savannah now, boy. Watch the sand track. Want to know the sand track? I run on that sand track many years. That is not even a sand track no more. Right? That is a dirt track now.
With grass?
Right? Boy, modern grass, boy. You know, it's like it's a forest now.
Right. You know, but Anselm, I was saying that I've been in New York City or in the area for a while, and I saw Brooklyn, New York transform from a living hell to a quote-unquote paradise.
Paradise, boy. Regentrification.
But guess what? The policing changed. That Safe Street, Safe City initiative made a major difference. They got the police, all them police, so many of them, they got them out of the cars and out of the
communities.
Got them on the ground where they were dropping them off in vans. These what they call maxi here. They were dropping them off in buses on the corners, and they take over and walk through the whole village, get to know people. As a matter of fact, I always remember when we had our mass camps, they would come in and they would talk and get to know everybody. And you know, listen, it ain't no rocket science. And if you're doing an experiment and you need a wheel, the wheel is already there. Use the bloody wheel. Use the wheel. You know what I mean? Systems. You put systems in place. Once you put the right systems in place, you get the results you desire. Come on.
But Tommy, you see,
what I'm suggesting, right? You see the grassroots, the cottage team. We need. You see those some people who just come out for election, the street what they call it, street captain. They just can't come out for election. We need those people intact to help to kind of put the pressure on getting things done where we need it to. You see, what you got is some people, certain activists, they get their food and they leave the rest. Long as they get what they want, they forget the job. They're gone cold. So that cannot happen. You have to be consistent. So each community, we can put the pressure on the government to get what we need, but we need that grassroots team of people to be mobilized and fully engaged, not just for election.
I remember they used to say you need kinder, gentler policing. You need kinder, not talking shit about one shot, one kill, and one set of rubber talk and garbage.
And Tommy, you are so right, because here what we decide to do on that Gary Griffith, right? We go police by fear, and what we go do, we go militarize the police department. We go have everybody in military uniform with big gun, right? Big gun. And what we go do, we go put fear into the people, right? Into that they will stop doing certain things. But fear don't work for a long time. It's no different than what the government did with respect to COVID-19 and putting fear into people and telling them exile and stranded citizens coming back home, go bring back home COVID-19. Same thing.
Right.
Same thing.
The first thing you do is you pay your police right. Once you pay your police properly, they're not as corruptible. You pay them right, then they're not as corruptible.
Well, listen,
and then
I went to school. Yeah, I went to school in Bedford-Stuyvesant in 1977 to 1978. They used they called Bed-Stuy do or die Bed-Stuy.
Combat zone, combat zone.
Yeah, when I went to school, when I went to Seton University, you always ask me, they used to say, you used to walk around with a gun? We hear all kind of thing about Bed-Stuy, right? Do or die Bed-Stuy. At that point in time, you could have buy a brownstone in Bedford-Stuyvesant for maybe, you could have gone a New York City house in auction and buy a brownstone for 75,000 or 100,000. Peanuts, small money. Now, a brownstone in Bed-Stuy is over $1 million now.
Maybe 2 million.
Yeah, you can't buy a brownstone in Bed-Stuy. And you know what they did it? Tommy, you are so right. They put police into the communities. The police
I've been there. It's almost 50 years I've been in the United States. I've seen with my own two eyes. I see transformation in so many major cities. I see gentrification take place. I see,
but it's not only police. It has to have the necessary social support in order to transform these people and to guide the children into constructive things.
Is a system, is a philosophy that has to be put in place, that has to be followed.
But Gary, But Gary, here is our point here, Gary. I want to compliment the UNC on the idea of live sport. That was an excellent idea. It was a great idea. But you see, you know what ended up happening to it? Corruption galore. Corruption masked it up. Left, right, and center. Corruption. And that is the time when I went back to Trinidad in order for them to implement Sport Development Academy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago.
And Slim,
that didn't cost $400 million.
And Slim, the UNC had the perfect chance to transform the society.
And they still have it today.
They had a stellar occasion to take this country to another level. Look, corruption.
Look.
The idea behind this was to show the young men on the streets that they could play basketball or football. That's like how they do it in America here.
Correct.
Right? And become a millionaire. That's why Tanya gave the $1 million to the javelin player. I forget the guy's name now. From Toco. I can't remember his name. She gave him $1 million. He get a house.
Keyshawn Walcott.
Yeah. So that was to make an example to show the young people, well, listen, you could choose this route. And they also give some of them guys there on the ground contracts to keep them out of crime, to show them how they could make money this way and that way.
Gary, if you give a criminal money, right, what do you think he's going to do? If I am a gang leader and you give me money, of course, I'm going to hire a few people, but I have to take some money to defend what I have. And I have to get things that I'm able to defend myself.
Yeah, number two, but what I'm saying to you, the thing about it here is that the idea was to show them, well, to make them a part of their country, to be a part of the process. It was an engaging process. Some guys, they went the wrong way. They were already hard-back criminals that they couldn't reason with, but the government was trying to reason with them to the fact, to change and show them a better picture of doing things. Let me tell you something. If you cause people to hate their country and you mistreat them, how do you think they're going to react? If you make them feel that they're not wanted here and you don't care about them, how do you expect them to react? But if you engage them and make them part of the process, you have a different reaction.
So listen to Sleepy. Sleepy says, Wall Street, you are wrong. That program was Sleepy, you actually saying this in truth, buddy? You know what Sleepy saying? Sleepy, Wall Street, you are wrong. That program was a success. The PNM demonized it and the clones followed. Sleepy, you really serious, partner? Really, boy? Sleepy?
Well, maybe he has some information that we don't know about. But what I'm saying to you, yes, the PNM tried to demonize everything. The PNM demonized the laptop given out to. They criticize Kamala for giving the children toys at Christmas. There's a lot of things they criticize. For all the good things she do.
Hey, Tommy, look, little Ellis Island. He's saying,
look, Obama never did anything good in this country, Do you know that? Obama never did anything good in this country.
Gary, here you go again, Gary. Gary, you have to stop making such broad statements.
I am drawing a reference.
You are saying that Obama never did anything good in this country.
That's how they say it. That's what they like to project.
That's how they say. So you're repeating what they say.
What I am telling you is I'm trying to draw a reference to you here. The man did a lot to save the economy in this country, and they're judging him well. Trump came across like all the success that Trump had with the economy in the first year is like he made it happen. But Obama planted the ground. Team Obama planted the ground. They tilled the ground. They spin around the economy. It's the hard work that they did that caused America to revamp. What? So, you would not hear that from the other side.
So Brian Batiste says, Brian Batiste, I think Brian been here before. Brian Batiste? Been here before? Brian says, well spoken, but who's willing to guide and direct the dropouts? And I'll give only a next example. So here's fish sticks. Here's breadstick. And some, it's fish stick. And some, when I read anything from fish stick and Little Ron Horner and carrot cake and them as I upon a different reading glasses. Somebody said, "Let's give me a joke and laugh at it myself." Of course, if I get jokes and I bring my own audience and I remember nobody else laughing. So, Fistix says, answer how much young boys are flashing their guns on social media when Guy Griffith was there because they were testing him to see if he was a bubbly, but he deal with them. Okay. And
yeah.
And what?
They threatening publicly answer. We know that. I seen that on social media myself. I seen that. Posing with the guns and tell him to come for him, they threaten his wife. In fact, the man had to take his family out of the country.
And
hello?
Here is Ellis Island. Wall Street. You ever seen the guns that criminals have in this country? You see, here we go again.
Lord.
Big guns for TPS in time is necessary. Do you think bandits have slingshot in Trinidad? No, ooh. Ellis Island. You see, Ellis Island? You see? And Gary and Diana, this is what you're talking about, right? Now, Ellis Island, people like Ellis Island, little Ellis Island, wants to go after the criminals with guns, right? Ellis, take that. Ellis, what about the big shots who bringing in the guns, Ellis? Why don't you stop the big shots who bringing in the guns, Ellis? So the guns don't come at all.
The big shots they're bringing in no gun for the man on the street to come rob them. You think them boats are coming across the border day in the night? Them little pirogue coming across. You think what do you think they bring in?
Because Gary, the little boy learned from the big shot, so they take over the big shot work.
Let me tell you, it ain't no little boy. You go down there and feel that boy little. They're big. They have big money in their pocket because they've been in business. They've been in business since they're young. So by the time they reach 21, there's a big businessman. They have heavy dough. They could drive $1 million car.
Yeah, look for stick against. Answer, you need a monster to fight monster. Yeah, listen, correct. A monster to fight monster. But the monster who fighting the monster cannot reduce moderate in Trinidad and Tobago. So he's a monster, but he's like a deer. You know, monster. He's a deer. What monster he is? It's a perception that he's a monster. Monsters will reduce crime. If I afraid you, I never go out and commit crime. If I afraid you, what monster? Well, he's a so-called monster.
I see people in Trinidad that only want to talk, right? The thing about it is you can organize a little watch in your community. All right? Nobody should be able to enter your community and commit a crime and leave easily. You should have things in place from the time they come and do their nonsense that you have things in place to intercept them. With the backup of the police coming too, but you who lives in that community should have some things in place. We have seen enough. It's more than 20 years this thing going on, and everybody want to build a higher wall and feel that they're safe when they go inside it. But when you must come out that wall, they kill you in front of your wall. All right? And they climb in the wall too. They're taking a ladder and jump the wall and cut the roof and come in your house. So who more safe than who?
Yeah. Hey, Brian Batiste, I don't understand what you say here now. You should not, I don't know, you should not use the program to encourage person to change their life, or you should use the program to encourage people to change their life. I don't understand. Look, guys, listen. I think that in Trinidad and Tobago, it's not easy, right? But you see, what happens is that when we get a good commissioner of police, like Stephen Williams, because of his behavior in public of not being braggadocious, like Gary Griffith, we run him out of office. Oh, he's a failure. He's an abysmal failure. Stephen Williams was a success as a commissioner of police in Trinidad and Tobago. Anybody want me to deny that? Show me the facts that shows that Stephen Williams was a failure as a commissioner of police in Trinidad and Tobago. When you compare him to Gary Griffith, show me the facts.
Stephen Williams had a government that supported him. And that is what you don't want to add to the maths here. Stephen Williams had a government that supported him. You have to get some insight.
What about James Fulbert? He had a government that supported him too, right?
Well, James Fulbert, let me tell you something. We see something happening on the ground with James Filbert, right? We have seen a lot of things. Okay? People go on to report a situation in the police station. Okay? And the police, they get killed before they reach their house. Okay? Okay? There was, and Filbert, it is alleged that Filbert had nephew was this guy called Robocop. Okay? And nobody can hold Robocop. Robocop started as a guy hustling around with the taxi and them. All right? Hustling passengers with the taxi. Okay? And then he started to do his racket and kidnap people. Okay? And rob people and build up himself. And he was allowed to do that right under the nose of the Central Police Station. Okay?
Gary,
so,
did he have government support? Gary, did James Filbert have government support?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he had good support to allow the mess to continue.
No, but I'm just asking a question. Did he have government support?
Business people had to run from Trinidad and run the business from Miami and watch it in camera. Watch the camera. I know a certain hardware company run from Trinidad. Okay. There was so much kidnapping, and who was doing the kidnapping? You think it was some Venezuelan? Was the young fellas on the street? Who killed Vindra Naipaul? You see who killed Vindra Naipaul?
So Gary, I want to give you some homework. I want you to find out, for those 538 murders under Gary Griffith, how much of those was Venezuelans who murdered people? The borders were open. Venezuelans coming in left, right, and center. All right, they come in. How much of them were part of the 538 were part that murdered them 538 people? The Venezuelan wasn't coming to Trinidad to murder people looking for work or looking for food to carry back to Venezuela.
Not all.
Most of the Venezuelans.
So that element, that the ones that are not the most, they get. Let me tell you something that happened.
Any facts or statistics to show that Venezuelans murders in Trinidad and Tobago?
No, I don't have no facts. But you know who was on the program the other day said a lot of them come in with all kind of names. Was it Senator Lydell? A whole heap of, and they all had the same last name.
The evidence is there. They were trading. I tell an answer. The big boys are bringing a container load of gun, and that's all the guys on the street getting it. It's the little rock cross.
Anselm, let me tell you a situation that happened to me, and I took me aback. I came out of Massey one time. I was visiting there, and this young Venezuelan couple approached me in the parking lot, and they said to me, "Comida, por favor, comida, por favor." That means they want food. I said, "Okay, you know what?" And they had a little bambino with a little child. I said, "You know what? I'll get them the bags of food here." The guy tapped me on my hand and offered me a bag, giving me a bag. And I said, no, it's okay. And he said he wanted to pay me. Pagar por la comida con esto. And when I opened the bag, guess what was inside that bag? I'm gone. I told him, no, I don't want, I'm good. And I turned and I went on back inside. So I didn't take it. Who you ain't think you go find another somebody else to take the gun from him?
So Diana, all Venezuelans that come into Trinidad is doing that. You want to paint a broad brush?
No,
but that's one incident.
No, to her, one incident. You think that's the only incident?
No, I don't think so. Stick up in.
Okay, then.
Stick up in. You got to go for a quick station identification. It's in the village to the DAG Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Stick and stay, don't go nowhere. It's in the village to the DAG Triplets. We'll be right back after this short.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We're back with you. It's in the village with the DAG Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. I want to ask you guys a question.
Approximately 41 prisons officers have been caught trafficking contraband in the country's prisons over the past 5 years. Commissioner of Prisons Dennis Pochan says he hopes the judiciary fast-tracks the process of dealing with the perpetrators.
About 8 years ago, I arrested an officer with a chunk of marijuana coming to the Golden Grove prison. The matter went on for 7 years, right? And the matter hasn't yet completed. It hasn't yet completed. So one of the things that I am looking at, one of the deterrent, is the slow movement of the criminal justice system.
Mr. Pochan said the prison's officers who are caught are often suspended with pay.
Seen in the past where officers would have been charged from trafficking, went on half pay. They found them guilty at the Service Commission. They appealed to the appeal board, and they get back their jobs. And now I am required to take these individuals, place them back in the system, and pay them full salary.
Mr. Pochan said the public service regulations need to change in order to address these issues.
Wow. Wow. It makes me, I get tight tongue.
Corruption, moral responsibility, self-responsibility, laws.
Yeah, you see?
Laws.
And we want to talk about, this one and that one and the other one.
But
I mean,
wait. Watch it. They are enabling them because they're suspended with pay.
That's right.
And it's 7 years. It takes
Fire
to bring
them.
Fire
them.
All right.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
So watch. When them people outside seeing them fellas and them bringing weed into the prison, right? What do you think about these people now?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment has been stolen from a Ministry of Works and Transport pumping station in the Beetham area. Line Minister Rohan Sinanan, who made the disclosure during a press conference on Tuesday, said the incident took place last weekend.
At the flooding there, depending on the volume of rain, within 3-4 minutes, the pump will pull all the water out. Unfortunately, that was sabotaged this weekend. Some elements went in, stole the cables, stole the batteries. The site is down as we speak.
The minister said although several people have been arrested in connection with the theft, he believes there are others who are involved and they remain at large.
Because the estimated cost so far to have those pumps back in service is close to $483,000, which is a lot of money to spend at this point in time. $483,000 could have taken us a long way in terms of our infrastructure.
Minister Sinanan has requested assistance from the public to aid the police in their investigations.
Who's to blame for that? Who's to blame?
Well, you could speculate as to who took it and why.
Who's to blame?
You can speculate.
Look, all you until we get, and all I want to talk about fear, right? We are covering them there. All I want to talk about fear, right? Listen to this one. Fear. Listen.
That is a percentage of basically 94% occupancy. So 3 beds left as of this morning.
Despite a number of ICU beds being added to the parallel healthcare system at the Point Fortin Hospital, just 3 beds remain unoccupied at this time. Principal Medical Officer Dr. Miriam Abdul-Richard says this means there are now 54 ICU beds in Trinidad and 5 in Tobago. She reiterates the majority of people showing up with severe illness at the A&E departments are unvaccinated.
As of this morning, there are 19 patients across our traditional accident and emergency centers who require immediate transfer to the hospitals in the parallel healthcare system. 7 of those 19 patients require intensive care.
She continues to urge the unvaccinated population to get inoculated, saying there is an increasing burden on the parallel healthcare system.
We have noticed over the past 12 days that the average number or percentage of patients requiring ICU care on a daily basis has been between 5 to 7 patients.
And Health Minister Terence Dialsing pleaded with the population to ensure healthcare workers do not have to make difficult decisions.
Consider being vaccinated as part of now your civic duty to make our doctors and nurses not have to make those life and death decisions, to allocate scarce resources to you.
Dr. Abdul Richard says the next 2 weeks will be a critical period where healthcare resources will be stretched. Sonolala, TTT News.
All you know, it was reported, right? Just so you know that it was reported. If you go to the hospital or you have to go into ICU, and listen, this is sad, eh? And they have to make a choice. They will make a choice to give a vaccinated person as opposed to an unvaccinated person. Imagine that. Imagine
yes.
that. It's easy. Look.
And where that coming from? Where is that directive coming from? Who?
Ansem breast friend.
Who it coming from? Now you're telling me you gonna sit as the leader of the country and say what? If you're not vaccinated, you're not gonna get, you're coming there ill, they're not gonna hook you up to a ventilator? Nah, that ain't right, Anselm. That should be addressed by the head of the country. That's discrimination there.
Listen, it's a global program.
That's discrimination right there. You can tell me wait. Let me finish here. Let me finish. You're telling me a little child comes in there unvaccinated. You're not going to give that child a ventilator? Come on, Anselm. That's barbaric.
Listen, this monks welcome.
The unvaccinated person paying tax, right?
That's barbaric.
Listen, monks, you are absolutely correct. It's a broken system. That's what it is. The system is broken, and until we decide to fix the system, we spinning top in mud. Party come, party go, we spinning top in mud.
Yep.
Listen, look at right here. Look, the system was never broken. It was built that way.
Yep.
System was never broken. We want to talk about this. The system is this, and the system is that. It built that way. And what happens? Party come, party go. They just uphold that system and continue the same system. But
it is possible to change, Anton, because yes, remember back in the day, slavery was the breadwinner for these empires. That system got changed. But how did it get changed? By revolution and marching, and they had plenty. Let me finish.
You have to read capitalism and slavery. You have to read capitalism.
I read all that. Yeah,
I don't believe in revolution. I don't believe it. Revolution.
But I say, listen to me now. Can I finish? Let me finish. Make my statement. There were plenty wars to end slavery, right? Against slavery. Okay, then I done talk.
What changed slavery?
Eric says it was not profitable anymore, so they had to abandon it.
Revolution is not profitable.
Revolution ain't profitable, but if you have a system like what's going on there in Trinidad and Tobago,
revolution will be worse for the country.
How do you fix it?
Not by revolution.
I'm not talking about war and bloodshed now, I'm talking about actually, changing the constitution. Revolution change.
But Diana,
changing the constitution to reflect laws that people gonna get the justice system, the wheels of justice moving. That the people the women that going missing and getting killed and murdered and buried in shallow graves. That perpetrator can be brought to the murderer can be brought to justice in a swift manner. That's what I'm talking about. Revolution. I'm not talking about when time you hear revolution has many meanings. You need to.
But Diana, in 2021, whenever you use the word revolution, right, For example, the UNC said an October revolution. Right? Whenever you use the word revolution, it's a wrong buzzword. And you always says language is important. You says that. Yeah. You say that, and you are right.
Revolution has many meanings.
If you are going to use that same thing, Diana, revolution is unacceptable.
Revolution has many meanings.
If you want to say a political revolution, a financial revolution, right? Fine. But when you leave revolution or the October revolution, you're leaving revolution there for people to do whatever they want.
Well,
and to me, that doesn't help.
So what? So let me ask you something, Anselm. Something. You know, I don't know if you have family members in Trinidad and Tobago remain.
I have family members in Trinidad.
Okay. All right. What do you want for them and their children and their children's children, as you know, a relative? Well, what do you want? You want the same thing to go on 50 years from now, the same nonsense?
But Diana, you see again, you asking answers, you know. You asking answers. Because if you are here on this program with us, and you are see how I'm fighting for exile and stranded citizens, I was against when they send home CPEP workers. You know, I'm fighting for the people in Chumaka, Claventil, with a building that's been abandoned.
And that's why I asked you that question.
But
don't you want that building turned into something constructive and positive, and you know that people can go to and learn? Don't you want that?
But you're asking answers.
So how do you get it? How do you get it for your people?
Not through a revolution.
I'm not talking about a revolution. How do you get it? I ain't even going there.
Revolution means a movement to change. It doesn't necessarily mean military.
Yeah, how do you get...
Diana, you put people in office who have the testicular fortitude to change things and not just give you exchange.
Yeah, but if the opposition and all them try to oppose and you have a person shut them up and how can you get things changed?
But Diana, the same opposition had an opportunity to change it and they did not.
Okay, so because the opposition had an opportunity to change it, now what do? You still let them? What do you do? How do you fix it? How do you fix what's happening in Trinidad? What is the answer?
But I just gave you the answer.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. You put people who are going to go in there and have the testicular fortitude to change it. For example, Diana, you said when you was out of power, I'm going to ask the tax. When you go into power, you do absolutely opposite to what you said. You don't have the testicular fortitude to follow through with what you say you were going to do. And that is the problem we have. You make promises and you don't fulfill your promises. And we should hold you accountable for that. But we don't hold them accountable because that's my party. That's your party. That's exactly what it is. It's nothing else. We keep putting people in power who promise us something. They promise us the world. And when they get in there, we don't hold them accountable. And then we want change because my party in power. Just imagine, Diana, just imagine if 90% of the PNM people was to stand up and say, oh yeah, we want them 3 buildings in Chumaka painted and we want that building renovated. You know how quick it will get done? Just imagine that, Diana Benskin.
But they're operating on the premise of fear. They will get retaliated against when they speak up. How are things going to change if when you talk, you're getting retaliated against? You know, you're lost in it.
You have to have the testicular fortitude.
So the only way to get this thing, any change, is the grassroots. There has to be a revival on the grassroots, on the ground, with the grassroots people. God Christopher, David Wells, all the different community leaders have to come together and discuss what they feel is best for them. And they don't have to worry with what political party has and their party executive. The ground has to unite.
But Gary, when they try to unite, the UNC mash it up.
Again,
they don't want that.
Again, Again,
They don't want that, they
UNC,
mash it up.
the UNC or the PNM should not have any effect on the ground. The ground should, this is what I was trying to share with you guys on the ground. You should become so strong that them have to work with you, that you call in the shots. This is the idea I've been sharing with them. They don't seem to grab that concept. But Andy Williams running off in one direction, God Christopher in one direction, David Welsh in one direction, Vicky Rampasad in one direction. You understand what I'm saying to you? They have to put, it always has somebody. Listen to me, I grew up in Trinidad. We always have somebody who, if they get their way, they want to mash up the whole game. They want to mash up the cricket game, and they go on, right? The thing about it is they don't seem to understand how to look at the bigger picture. So I'm trying to reason with the ground. The ground should form their own executive. Don't worry about the PNM executive. Don't worry about the PNM constituency executive or the UNC constituency executive. Form your non-political party ground executive. And you guys call the shots. You can sway the votes. The non-affiliated voters cause the shot in the election.
Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael said you have to get success in things like what is needed in Trinidad and Tobago, you have to mobilize and organize.
Yeah. Well, any part of the world, you have to mobilize and organize. Look at what happened in Egypt. The Egyptian government was overthrown with communication through Facebook. The Egyptian government was overthrown. That big riot that took place in the country, everybody come out. And they did it constructively. Now, when I say riot, I don't mean to say that you go and rob the stores and expose business in your community and mash up your community and burn down your own community. Riot in the form of resisting the actions of the government. You don't need guns or anything to do that. You stand up and march. You think about 100 people, 1,000 people storm Port of Spain there. Wouldn't that cause some attention? Could they arrest 100,000 people? So, I mean, come on, everybody's affected. It's a lack of leadership, It's a lack of leadership on the ground. And there has to be the right leadership that cause everybody to think. So say, guys, listen, we got to look at the bigger picture here.
Gary, and exactly that they would do. They would arrest all the leaders and leave the majority of the followers.
They will try that. But then the followers have to they have to not put the tail between their legs and run and hide. Why do you think Mahatma Gandhi couldn't fight the British in a physical war? Why do you think he had to choose the route? He know he couldn't win a physical war with them like that. He know, because he have a bunch of weak-hearted people. For my part,
Frederick Douglass says, power concedes not without a demand. It never did and it never will. Find out just what any people will quietly submit to, and you have found out the exact measure of injustice and wrong which will be imposed upon them. And these will continue that they are resisted with either words or blows or with both. You see, we keep, and when a person like me stand up for a community like Chumaka Claventel, you know what they tell me? Hey, you living in Trinidad, you living in America, you have your nice place. What are you worrying about them people for? These people are only people like it, so why are you worrying about them for? They like it, so they want that. You ain't say my time they're only going back and voting for PNM over and over and over. They like that. They want it, so you understand? And not only that, but if PNM people will come and tell me, hey, Wall Street, what's wrong with you, boy? You know, if we go up there, all them bandits and them up there, we're going to stick up all them people and them. So we afraid to go up there. We ain't going up there to renovate no building. But however, the Trinidad Defense Force have an engineering unit that could go up there. In this country, when they're going to cut down a tree in this community, they have state police at the beginning and state police at the end, plus community police on the side. All the time they can't do that in Trinidad and Tobago. All they having their bandit running the asylum, and that's the excuse all they making out there come and tell me that. That is the excuse they come and give me. Come on now, man. Look. Boy, let me go and take a drink,
So how Dr. Rowley was able to walk in Chumaka Laventil with Donna Cox and this one and that one.
Gary, you yourself, man, go walk. What kind of walk is that?
He didn't go to the real area.
That's like a pulp walk. That's a pulp walk. You know them pulp walk? Where when you do thing, you walk you down the thing for everybody to see you.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody to see you. When was the last time he was back up distance? Eh? When was he back up distance? 2011 when there was an opposition and the building burned down. Look, all you don't vex, yes? All you think it's easy. But no, you see, people like Carrot Cake and Little Run Horner and Ellis Island and Fitzstick and I put Haley do and Sleepy.
Oh Lord.
Sleepy too. I put Sleepy in there. Hollow Field too. Hollow Field, you in there too. And Hairstyles Bomber and Raj V. Yeah, calling all you out. And Crazy Dog. Is Crazy Dog or Mad Dog?
I don't know.
Okay, Diana,
I don't know.
Is Mad Dog or Crazy Dog?
It's loco pero.
Loco pero? Oh, Mad Dog, yeah, Mad Dog. And then when I say certain things, I'm watching Haley and Nadia, and I don't think Carice joined them. And I don't think Grace joined, but I'm watching Haley and Nadia very attentively, paying close attention. Yeah, all them don't say nothing about that. When I come to Trinidad, I want all of you to go up by me in Chumaka. We go buy some paint, right? And we go paint the 3 billions in 1 week. I go buy the paint. I want all of you to come and help me. And we're doing a live in the village in Chumaka, Claventel. And don't worry, we go pay for security for the feel unsafe. We go pay Gary Griffith for him to come and get a security company to come up there. Because if you go see him up there, they go be scared. Scholars say people will be scared of him because he's very rambunctious. Right?
And if you can't get Gary Griffith, you go get Gary Mahabe to come with you.
Yeah. We go bring Gary Mahabe too. Yeah. What do you mean, Card Cake? Why are you watching me? I'm watching all you because when I come to Trinidad, all you, you know, all you talking. I want all you to walk the walk. I want you to come up there and listen. I want Little Run Horner. He alone, Little Run Horner. I want he alone to paint one side of the building. I go give him about 4 security people. Him alone. Him alone because he like to talk the most.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to say good night. I got a couple things to deal with. I'm going to know.
All right, Gary.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
So Saturday. All right then.
Okay. Look,
good night,
yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. Look, Solo Field says that PNM. All feel like true? Diana? Solo Field says that PNM.
I have no idea.
Look, Diana, look your friend Carrot Cake. He says, Miss Diana, answer this. If we have UNC in power and Laventille have a PNM MP, and UNC funding the MP to help the community, and the MP not doing anything, who we should blame? Diana, Benskin, Carrot Cake have a question for you. He said, Miss Diana, answer this. If you have UNC in power, and Laventille have a PNM MP, and UNC funding the MP to help the community, and the PNM MP not doing anything, who we should blame?
The PNM MP.
So why can't the UNC go and do it for themselves?
If they're getting the money, they should be using the money accordingly. That's what not putting, that's what the corruption is. Accountability, there should be checks and balances and stuff like that. I don't know. Trinidad is a broken place. Broken.
Yeah. No job. Hey,
broken.
Hairstyles, I'm in Jersey. I can't hook you up with no chicks in Florida, nah? Sorry. If you want chicken, I could buy chicken for you. You know? It's a different kind of chicken. I could buy chicken. Rishi Rupnarayan, welcome. Right? Yeah. You see? And what? Vincent Van Gogh. What you say? Look, Little Run Horner.
Wall Street pass like
either Michelangelo, Rembrandt, or Vincent Van Gogh. Or you like to paint so? No, I want to paint, and I want you to come, little run owner. I'll put up all this scaffolding and everything. All the other pop nose, we go get people pop this scaffolding and everyone all here. And I want Haley and Carice, I want you to come too. I want Carice, Haley, Nadia, Rose. I painting this side with them. We alone taking one side. me, Rose, Carice, Lana, Nadia, who else? Oh God, Diana, help me now, man.
Wait, I'm gonna help you. I supervising the side all your painting, but I ain't painting it.
No, that's all right. That's I will need supervision. All of you on one side of the building, and we painting, boy. We painting the building, and little run one of them go be way on the other side of the building. And we getting that job done quick. Right? We painting through Macaque Laventil. Right? Nobody can talk. Nobody can talk. Right? Hey, Rose says she go cook. All right, Rose. Good. We cooking.
Yeah, all the women wearing short pum shorts.
No. You can't paint in them.
What do you mean you can't paint in them?
No, I want
Trinidad hot.
You have to stick now. Leave with some ladies. Nah. Stick. On your game, little run on your game nuts cake. You're getting Rajvi. Even Rowdy from Toronto coming down too. Rowdy coming down. Right? Little run, little Ellis Island coming down. Ray still coming in. All of them coming in.
Rowdy said he don't want no curry Morocco.
Well, Ellis Island, you need to say all your security out. Because they're afraid to go up there. All they're getting security. We're bringing security for you. We're having more security on my side than what.
You don't need no security with me supervising.
Yeah, Gary Griffith will be on your side. We go put Gary Griffith on your side. Gary Griffith, Gary Mahabir. Tell me which side you want to be on.
Rose says she body can't fit in poo.
I provide logistics.
All right. So we go provide logistics. Right? So we go.
But Rose, we go put on bikini girl. Let everything just hang out.
No. You're coming through my bikini. We want that. No, you don't want that. We never
you don't want that. You go get news coverage.
Takisha, forget to call you too, not Takisha. Yeah? But Takisha, I don't know. I don't figure what side I go put you. Not Takisha, you come on my side.
All Takisha, the women.
You come on my side. Yeah. Because we painting quick.
We coming in bikinis.
No.
You can't tell me what to wear. We coming in bikinis.
No, not allowing that.
How you mean you're not allowing that? It's hot. Trinidad hot.
Yeah, and Sleepy going on that side too. Sleepy said, Wall Street, the last time Laventer roads were paved was by the UNC. The last time water supply was received was under
Rose said, too much distraction will happen.
Sleepy, please.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Little run owner. Nobody don't want to see you no pum short, brother. Trust me. The last thing people want to see is you on Ellis Island and a pum shorts.
Crocus bag.
Yeah, maybe a crocus bag. Yeah, a crocus bag.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Albert Montano said, answer my special brands. Yeah, Albert special brands, boy. Tiki says she organize Sergeant Alexander to bodyguard us. Nah, you might bring police who want to charge me extra. I go already pay them, and when them police come, they will say you gotta get extra pay.
Yeah, painted during the SOE, the pandemic. I come in a pum shorts and I wearing mask. That's it.
Yeah. Hey, but how do you feel? Who win the game today? Who win the game today? West Indies and Sri Lanka. How do you feel? Say living in Jamaica. But always remember when the West Indies cricket was #1 in the world, was made up of Bajans. Yeah, boy, one time West Indies was the best, you know. Who win the game today, earlier?
Chinese.
What?
Trini.
Who?
Trini.
Look now, Sri Lanka win the game in 2, boy. What the hell is this, boy? But you know, all you hear about the man that went to the guy that went to court because his mother and father was beating him. All you hear the court, and the judge sentence, right? The little boy was unruly, right? And he went to court, and the judge says, we have to sentence you with someone because you are very, 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 you're disrespectful. He said he want to go and play, he want to sentence him to the West Indies because they don't beat nobody.
Stick to your professor job.
What? Oh, Raystel don't follow cricket. West Indies still playing cricket in shoot. Hey, Raystel, put closing comments in the chat. And Takesha, put closing comments in the chat. Raystel and Takesha, put closing comments in the chat. Yeah. All your listener, all you. We're organizing to pay the building on them, and we had to separate people because we had to try to get the building paid as quick as possible. One side of the building is where Rose cooking on that side, and we go have who could cook on the other side, boy?
Takesha.
No, Takesha on my side.
I hear she's a cookstress.
Yeah, well, she's a cookstress, and she and Rose doing the cooking on my side. Diana, you on the other side.
No. I sit down on your side with an umbrella and music and giving commands.
No, because I have on my side, I have Carice, I have Claudia, I have Nadia, I have Takesha and Rose doing the cooking.
Good night, Ray. We have Rishi Rupnarayan.
Who else have there?
Well, it's like you only want all the young girl on your side. You
No, because
you don't want the mature person. Well,
ladies just paint fast.
But that's why on your side, I'm making sure to do the work.
Right. So I put in on the other side. I put in Ellis Island, Little Run Hona, Nuts Cake, Albert Montano, Swallowfield.
You put in Ulrich there too?
Ulrich going over there too.
Oh God.
Oh God. Because we had to stay far away from them because we had to get the job done. You know what I mean? So, women always get the job done, correct?
That right?
Yeah, women always get the job done. So, if I want to get the building painted very quick, I had to make sure that hey, look, Renee Mohammed now come. Renee, good night, boy. What? Rowley want to know how much is PATC bus fare from Aruka to Lavantil? I can't drive in Trini. Is bus ride? I don't know. Oh, Little Run Horner, no want to know. Hey, Little Run Horner, you wasn't listening or what? I tell you, on all your side, Gary Griffith is the security, head of security. On my side is Diana. And I'm paying for the security. Right? You have enough security. Right? Center will go feel more comfortable now. If I was just painting it, would I be all right? Right? Oh, Sleepy, you over on them side too. Rajvi, you over on that side too. So the building have 4 sides. Little Run one of them go in the back, and me and Carice and Nadia and Claudia and Takesha and Diana and Rose and all of us, we paint in the front. And when we finish, we go to the side. Tommy, I gotta put you use logistics.
Yeah, I own all the scaffolding, so I'll set it up for you.
Oh, all right. So you go set up the scaffolding, all right? Yeah.
I need somewhere where I can sit down and write a calypso about what's going on.
Well, no, we have scaffolding. You go sit down. We gotta make a low one.
I sit on a scaffold. I want a chair with an umbrella and a cooler with lots of water and some music.
I saw that out.
All right. So we asked Takesha, and who is the other person? Raystel.
One of them.
Hey, we still put closing comments in the chat. All right, let me go. Hold on. Ray Stelt. What? Wall Street does dig while he cooking run? What do you mean by that? What else I don't mean by that?
I have no idea.
Go ahead, Diana.
All right, in the spirit of the Diwali, the solemn day, Mehmet Murad Idan, he was a Turkish playwright, said, "The most precious light is the one that visits you in your darkest hour." In what could be considered a dark time for mankind because of the global pandemic, can happiness permeate the air today? During the pandemic, festivals are no more about social gatherings. Instead, social distancing has taken its place. But should you let that spoil your Diwali celebration? Diwali, that festival of sparkling lights all around and delectable sweets that add a dash of happiness to it. Diwali is that Indian festival that marks the victory of good over evil and the triumph of light over darkness. This is a festival that is looked forward to by many and is celebrated with much happiness and excitement. In Trinidad and Tobago, on this solemn Diwali day, is there much happiness and excitement amidst all the death from corona and Delta virus and other maladies, amidst all the suffering and economic hardships as a result of the enforced governmental lockdowns and a caustic SOE? My Diwali wish for my fellow citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who are enduring any situation that is causing darkness to befall you, I wish that you may overcome every darkness you are facing in your life right now with the light that dwells in your soul. Biologically, we are human beings, but we can also be humane beings. Light a deer, learn to light a deer or a candle in the darkest moments of someone's life. Be the light that helps others see. It is what gives life its deepest significance. To those of you celebrating Diwali, I say Shubh Diwali. And this is Diana Benskin, aka The Storm, bidding everybody Auf Wiedersehen until we meet with you again Saturday. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Diana.
Good night.
So, in the words of a special message to the Congress on the internal security of the United States on August 5th, 1950 by Harry S. Truman, once a government is committed to the principle of silencing the voice of opposition, it has only one way to go, and that is down the path of increasingly repressive measures until it becomes the source of terror to all its citizens and create a country where everyone lives in fear. That's a speech on August 8, 1950 by Harry S. Truman. From where I said, this is it. The clock on the wall said, that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Tommy?
Yes, indeed. In the words of Winston Churchill, attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. And I'd like to also say, in the spirit of the Diwali, that when there is darkness, the only way to get out of it is to shine your light. Shubh Diwali to all, each and all of our East Indian brothers, Hindu brothers specifically. We'll see and we'll talk again on Saturday, God willing.
So Takesha says, I'm loving being on this program. I try not to miss the show. Everyone comes like family. I pray God showers his blessing over us and keep us safe. Continue doing a great job, Gary, Ansem, Diana, and Tommy. Thank you very kindly. And I think I saw Real Stat. Ray. Hey, Ray, did you put your closing comments in the chat, man? Did you see it, Diana?
No, I'm not seeing it.
I'm seeing. Ray. Hey, Troy Smith, welcome. Here it is. Good night to all. Hairstyles says, good night to all. Enjoy your night and keep safe throughout this COVID. One peace, one love. Thank you very much. And we're going to leave tonight with a Diwali song. Again, Shug Diwali to all of you, my friends. We're going to leave with this Diwali song. Okay, I saw it. Thank you very kindly, my friend. We're going to leave with this one right here. Where is that one? Oh, no, it's down here. It's down here. My bad.
जिनकी